that? That's terrific. Hello and welcome to Penguin Live, where we bring you the absolute best magic in the entire world directly to you wherever you happen to be. I'm your host, Dan Harlan. Thank you so much for supporting Live Magic. Now, we have with us a full-time professional comedy magician who seamlessly blends his great comedy together with his mind-boggling magic. And he has worked in just about every possible venue that you can think of. As a matter of fact, he's brought with him material to teach you from various venues. And he's going to tell you why they're great, why they work in those particular situations, that kind of stuff. Now, like I said, he's performed everywhere. Everywhere in the United States, all of the 50 states. He's performed in over 20 foreign countries as well. You might have seen him on television, on HBO or on Showtime or one of his other television appearances, or you've caught him live at one of the comedy clubs all across this great nation of ours. So it is my great pleasure to welcome here to Penguin Live, Mr. Rich Marotta.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Rich. How are you?
How you doing? Good to see you. And Dan told you I do everything. The reason I do everything is it's what I do for a living. So if the phone rings, they say, do you do this? I say, yes, I do that. I got a close-up act, I got a stand-up act, I got a stage act, I got a two-person act with illusions that I do that I don't sell as much as other acts, but the phone rings, I want the job because that's the way I make my money. The good thing about having a big two-person illusion show, somebody calls up and says, hi, we're interested in having a party, how much do you charge? I go, oh, my shows start at $6,000. They say, for a birthday party? I'll go, oh, your birthday party? I didn't know that. I thought you meant my full evening illusion show. So you have a reason to change the money you charge. And one thing, I don't know if you do for a living, but if somebody calls up and says, I want to show how much, and you give them a price, and they go, great, you didn't charge enough money. Uh-oh, they jumped at that. Anyway, so I'm going to show you stuff. It's going to be a little different. I'm going to show you stuff on my stand-up act. I'm going to show you close-up act. I'm going to show you casual stuff. I'm going to show you stuff for trade shows. They're all completely different markets, and you all have to do completely different. You don't have to do completely different tricks, but you have to do different presentations. So let's start off with saying casual. Hey, let me get two people up here to help me out. Great. A volunteer? Holy moly. Somebody else? What's your name?
Natalia.
How are you? Somebody else? Everybody's looking at their shoes. All right. Thank you. How are you? What's your name?
David.
Okay. Well, a lot of times I'm sitting around, I'm not doing a regular show, or, I'm doing sort of a casual sort of show, or I'm sitting around with people trying to, do some regular, this is what I would do in a regular show, where people are sitting around and watching me do magic. I would say it's the least that I do, where you have an actual formal show where people sit around. Usually I'm working hospitality suites where I'm walking around, or something like that, so that's basically, we'll start. Does that look like a regular deck? Mm-hmm. Okay. Take one. Anyone. Show it everybody. Pass it around. Great. Look at that. A camera. I can see what it is. Makes my life really. I didn't know it was going to be this easy. Okay. Put that ace. Only kidding. No, sorry. Now, so somewhere in the deck is your card. I go like this. And give it a little boop, 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 boop. And I spread the deck. See anything happening? Oh. You notice anything about that card?
Blue.
Thank you. Was that it? Unbelievable. You think I was lucky? You do think I was lucky. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it again. I'll do it for her. Just because I feel pretty confident. All right, ready? Just say stop whenever you want.
Stop.
Ooh, that was fast. Okay, take it. Show it everybody. Got it? I won't look. Got it. Put it back. A little shake like that. Go like this and look. One card turns. See a blue card in there? You don't see a blue card in there? See a blue card anywhere? Oh, well, sure. That's blue. I'll tell you what. Hup. Oh, that was close. I almost messed that one up. But I'll tell you what. I'm going to do it really great this time. We'll make it even better. Here. We're gonna have, whatever you want, say stop.
Stop.
Right there. That's going to be your card. Take the pen. Write your name on it. Okay. There we go. Now look at, there it is. There's your card. In the deck. Give a look. Boop, 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 boop. Does it look like it's doing anything? No, it doesn't. No, seriously, look. If we go through the deck, there's one card's turned blue, and look,
Again.
got your signature. Thank you. Get rid of that. Okay. You guys shuffle? No? I just want, well, you're convinced it's a regular old deck. Here. Anytime you want.
Stop.
Show it everybody. I'm not looking. I didn't know it was going to be so easy, but I didn't look. You didn't see me looking there, did you? No. Okay. Somewhere in the deck is your card. Don't know where it is, what it is. Don't say a thing. Just let me know if it's in my hand. Queen of clubs, 6 of spades, 6 of diamonds. One of these your card? No. It's got to be in here somewhere. 4 hearts,
Yep.
Ace of diamonds. One of these?
Yes.
Put your hand over the cards. Did everybody see them? Did you see them? All right. Let me show you these again. That is the 6 of clubs, 6 of diamonds, 6 of spades, Queen of clubs. Here's what's going to happen. Whichever one of those 4 cards you picked, it's going to fly out of your hand in between these 4 cards. No, you think I'm kidding? Boop. Holy moly, look, there's a card there. Check it out. Still there? Hop. That's why we call this stuff magic. Very good. You see it there? No, I told you it's right over here. You seem to think I was lucky. So I'll do it. One thing you should never do is repeat a trick, but I'm feeling pretty good, so I am actually going to repeat the same trick again. Exactly the same trick. Say stop whenever you want. Take a look. I won't look. I'm not looking in there. Got it? Okay. Here we go. All right, somewhere in the deck is your card, right? Some could be, but what are we going to do? We're going to do exactly what we did before. What did we do before?
Hold their hands.
We go through the cards. Where is it? I think it's, well, we shall see. 2 of spades, 8 of spades, Queen of clubs, Ace of clubs. One of these? No. 2 of clubs, 2 of hearts, 10 of clubs, 10 of diamonds. One of these? One hand here, one hand here. Here we go. Poop. Did you pick a black card? You didn't? Okay, that's all right. Did you pick a heart? No, okay, it's all right. Did you pick a picture card? No. That's all right, I hit your hand, 3 times? Each time I hit it, I took out the wrong card. 3 cards hit, it means there's only 1 card under your hand. It must be your card. Turn it over. Show them the only cards you have in your hand. Okay, thank you. And now, let me see. Can I borrow a ring? You have a ring? You do? Perfect. Check that ring out. Make sure it doesn't come apart. Rope, check out the rope. Make sure the rope doesn't come apart. No holes. Here we go. Here's the idea. Very simple. The idea is to get the ring to go on to the middle of the rope. You with me? Without putting it on the end. 1, 2. I'm not giving this one away, so I'm gonna cover it up. See, I once saw a magician do this exact same trick uncovered, and now the trick is in my act. So that's why I'm. So keep your eye on the ends of the rope. You with me? As long as neither end goes underneath the rope, you know that I'm not cheating, and I haven't put it on one of the ends. Whoa, whoa. How's that look? Pretty good? Good. This way the secret will stay with me. Here we go. Where's... Oh. So where are you from?
I'm from
That didn't work. No, did you see? You didn't see the end go under, did you? No, didn't go under. But even though, look, I know you don't believe it, but boom, it's on there. Is it on there? It's on there. Hold that end. Hold this end. Let me have a little slack. Try it again. There. Here we go. Ooh, that's two. Okay. I'm going to keep doing it until this guy uncrosses his hands over there. All right, there it is. Sit. Hold out your hand. Close it up. On the count of three. Boop. There we go. All right, let me ask you this. Thank you. Once more. It's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
How about if I could get the ring to go from my hand onto the middle of that rope? Would that be good?
Yeah.
Can't do that, but I'll tell you what I'll do. That's a tough one, but I'll get the ring to go from my hand into that box. Tell me, does that look like your ring? Gross. Looks like a real finger, doesn't it? Yes. Feel it. Feels like a real finger. Ah! Can't believe I fooled you with this trick. There we go. Take that.
Thank you.
You know, the thing is, you don't really even need a ring to do this trick, and that's what's great about it, because sometimes I work places, people don't have rings. I can get the rope to go right through my finger like that. I'll have you help me out here. Hold the ends. I'll keep my fingers here just like this, so it can't come off the end. Pull it right through my finger. Boing. There it goes. Are you amazed? Well, all right, you know what? Since you're great, I'll tell you how it works. It's actually the rope is gimmicked. The rope actually opens and closes right there. Hup. See? That's the way it works. Simple. Everybody wonders how. See, look right there. Hup. Opens and closes right there. That's it. But most people jump at that rope and look at it and think that it is. Did you ever do this? Let me see if I can get a rope and get a bow in it like that, and then pull one end to the other and pull it. Get a little knot there. Here, hold that end. Hold that end. Pull. Yeah, it's a knot right there. Okay, so this is an example of my formal close-up show that I do with people sitting around. Sometimes I'm paid to do that, but mainly I do walk around. So let me show you how these three tricks are done, explain it all here, and have you all go, oh man, I can't believe it's that goddamn simple. Let me, the first one, I don't know how much you guys know about magic or well, some people at home are going to be doing it, but there's an original trick it was called Red Hot Mama. And the effect was that a card changed from one color to the other. It was a red deck, it was a blue deck, it changed to a red card. Then Frank Garcia, a guy who put a great book on magic out, called it Chicago Opener. And the reason he called it Chicago Opener is because you used a different color card in the deck, and you had to start off with it because it was a beginning book and he wasn't going to teach you how to load the cards into the deck. So that was the second phase where it doesn't change and you do that. I added the signature phase. Now let me tell you something about one thing I do about a lot of my magic. I repeat it over and over and over and over. And the reason I work these gigs, somebody's hired me to do a trick. The guy's paid me to do a trick. I do that trick. And he comes over to me and goes, do that trick for these people. Do that. You can't say, no, I can't do it again. And also, people want to see it again. Now, what does it mean when a layman says, do it again?
They're trying to figure it out.
It means, now that I know what's going to happen, I'm going to figure it out the next time. I believe the best trick you could do in close-up magic is the ambitious card, because you're doing the same effect over and over again, and you're doing different methods every time. You're fooling them over and over again. So they want you to do it again. They ask you to do it again. And it really looks, can you do that again? No. It just doesn't seem like, I mean, if you're really a magician, why can't you do it again? So I have multiple methods for doing it. So I started doing this, which is a trick, and I wanted to do it a third time where they actually sign it. After that, they give up. They're not going to ask you a fourth time after you do that. So that's why I came up with it. And what it is, it's a 3-card setup. However, this should be, these cards are for a blue deck. So let me get a blue deck so you know what I'm doing. Here's what it is. The regular trick uses a stranger card on the bottom of the deck, like that. That's the setup. And so the first time when they pick a card, whatever the card is, you throw it on top. When you spread the deck, you see the double. You turn over a double. You put that down. The next time, you force that card. So what I added is a rough and smooth card. It's roughed everywhere except here. See the way it separates here? Very simple. But if you try and spread it here, it doesn't spread. So it's the same thing as Red Hot Mama, except the third time I'm forcing this card. Do I have to go into the whole force, or can I just tell you that I get it? Every card I force, I always have 5th from the top. That's where I put it. And then I go through the deck, and if they stop me there, I do that. If not, I run it under the spread and wind up forcing it. But the good thing about the turnover when they sign it, 1, 2, 3, 4, here's the 5th, is that the act of turning it over looks really good. So I go here, say, stop. Now this is the card, right? But you wouldn't, it goes underneath the spread. Now when you say stop, I say this one, the act of turning it over, see, makes it look like, it's just a good, turning it over, looks like, makes it look really fair. And so that's it. It's a double card. You turn it over, still looks good. And if I spread here, you wouldn't see anything, but if I spread here, it automatically separates. And it's an easy way to change that third card. See? So if you do see this way, you can spread this forever and nothing happens. You spread down here, it appears. So that's a way to keep a rough card from being seen. So that's the first. Any questions about that? Is it clear? So it's just the third phase of. Now here's a trick that I have to repeat all the time because when I do it, people say, "Do it again." So let me get my deck here. Okay. So you say stop.
Stop.
Takes a card. Now, what I do? It's just a matter of controlling cards and making it look like you're mixing them all the time. It's that simple. So when she's showing the card, I in-jog a card. I'll in-jog it more so you can see it and shuffle 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop it back. Shuffle off. Cut at the break. Let's do it again. Put the card in the opposite way so I can show everybody where it is. You take a card, I in-jog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put it face up. So that would be the card. Shuffle, shuffle. Now I say your card's somewhere and I just do a slip cut, which means I'm taking one card off the top, make it look like I'm doing something. I take off 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not it. I say it's got to be somewhere. I take off another card. Now the second card is going to be their card. I say this one, this one, this one, or this one. They say it's one of those. But it's not there. It's back on the bottom of the deck. And the reason, it's a great move. It's called the Biddle move, named after Elmer Biddle. And what's great about it is you're doing the move when you're ostensibly doing something else. You should, like if you're going to palm a card and all you're doing is palming a card, you're going to get caught. But if you're doing another move, so in the process of showing you these cards, I'm switching the card in and the card out. And that's why it's a really good move. Now, let's say the card is the Joker. So here's what I do. I take this card. The next card is the selected card. I keep a break. And when I come over to get the 7, I leave that card on the bottom of the deck. It's very simple to do. Here, is this it? And this is here. I come over, I leave it on the bottom of the deck. Why don't you see me leaving it on the bottom of the deck? Because it's covered by the 7. You think there's no reason not to think that there's 4 cards there. If you practice, the best way to practice is to cull, which, separate all of the black cards from the red ones. So I would just practice going through the deck. I'm going to take this card out, so I keep a break here. You can't break here. Now there's a red one. I leave those 3. I put those 3 back. Red, 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 red. Here's a black one. I have a break. Black one, red. So I can just, in the process of toying with the deck here, I'm putting all the black cards back on the bottom, and these are all red. That's just an exercise to use it. But the move is, I use it all the time. It's really practical. So you've got 3. You think you have 4. These are the 4 wrong cards. Now, I'm going to palm a card. And everybody, the reason people screw up palming, they don't do it at the right time. Somebody once asked Max Malini, Max, what do you do if you're going to palm a card and somebody's watching? He goes, I wait. He goes, how long? He goes, a week. So the point is, you don't do it when they're looking. So first of all, there's no reason to think I'm palming a card because you think the card's already there. So the heat isn't on you. Also, you think it's there, I say, is it there? I look at you, I palm a card. You could actually, if you wanted to, push this card off the deck, and just put it in your hand as you turn over because all the attention is here. I mean, I have a good palm, but you don't have to have that great of a palm to do it. And now I'm going to add the card here. One thing about palming, the less time you keep it in your hand, the less likely you're going to get caught holding it. So that's it. I've got it. Is that it? And I pick these up. It's very simple. This card is coalescing with these other cards. I'm just picking it up. Can't beat that. Very simple. Now, I'm going to show you these 4, but I'm going to get this one in position to show. I go like this. I bend, I buckle here, and this card goes above it, above the selected. This one goes on the bottom. This one goes on the bottom. The last one goes on the top, and it places the selected card in between these 4 cards. Pretty simple. Now I say it's going to fly out of your hand in between these 4. This is called the Ascanio spread, and it's very simple. All you're doing is moving, you're holding all the cards, and you're moving this one away, and these 2 on the bottom, and the double card, it stays hidden in the middle. So it's like that, see? Your card's going to wind up in between these 4 cards. It's here. And when I shake, I just separate the cards. Now, if I said, look, there's your card, it's not a good climax because no matter what, even though it's here, people are going to think it might be here. You have to show it's gone first. It's just, and there it is. It looks good, but they're going to go, wait, is it there? You have an anticlimax. So I go like this. It's going to happen, boop. Is it there? You turn them over, it's not there. Now, they know it's there. You show it's there. You get your applause, all right? That's phase 1. Now, of course, they want to see this again. And the thing I like about this trick is the fact that you do it again helps you fool them. And it has to look the same, but it's a little different. You say stop. You take a card, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like I did before. And then, all right, that card is the Queen of Hearts. Shuffle it up, got the deck. Same thing as we did before. So far, it's exactly the same. Cards in exactly the same position. Why? Because I have less to remember. So now, I say, somewhere in the deck is your card. And as I do that, I separate 3 cards, right? And I turn these on top and these on top. And what I've done is I've put 3 cards face down on a face-up deck. Pretty simple. Now I get a break, and I'm going to do the biddle move again, but this time instead of putting a card back, I take. So I have a break here. How's that look? Pretty good? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? How's that look? Obvious, a big, no, well, that's it, I mean, you don't want to make it too tough for yourself, but from here it looks perfect. So now I take a card, I take another card, and when I come back, I take those 3 cards. Why don't you see it? Because the other card covers it up. Here's one, boop, 4. You think there's 4? There's 3 other cards there. Your card is 4th. Here, 2, 3, 4. Let me have your other hand there. Now, he's got 1 card. Same thing, except 1, 2, 3. What I do, I leave all 3. 1, 2, 3. I leave all 3. Why don't you know I leave all 3? Because I cover it. Let's cover it. 1, 2, 3. This is 1 card. Do I have to worry about it? No. Well, here's what I do. Look, I'm in control here. Here's 1 hand. Here's another hand. I'm making sure that he covers it. Also, he knows his card is here. It's not going anywhere. And that's what helps it work because, you know, I'm telling you, everybody, oh yeah? I got it. So they're so excited that they have their card. They don't start fooling around going. So that's it. Now you just miscall a card 3 times. Bink, bink, bink. And you show it's gone. And this time, I think this actually has a stronger ending than the first one. There's only 1 card there. Just remember, I'm in control. When he says it's one of these cards, I go, here, let me see, I'm in control here right away. And he's not going to, you know, people get nervous about that, but you wanted to keep a tight grip on that card because you didn't want me to get it, and that's what fooled you. All right. Any questions about that? I call that repeat escape. All right.
Hey, Rich, before you switch gears and go into the ring and string stuff, we did have a couple of tweets come in about the first effect, about the variation on the Chicago opener. First of all, do you have a recommendation for the roughing fluid? Do you rough your own with anything in particular?
You know, that's a good question. And if you go to a hobby store and you get a clear spray, dulling spray for models, I would use that. I wouldn't. You don't have to buy roughing fluid in a magic shop. All a magic shop does is take off that label and put on another label and charge you twice as much. So go to a hardware store, a hobby store, and get just say I want a clear dull spray for my models, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. The other question is about whether you would go into full detail on the setup of the Chicago opener. I think mainly I'd be curious to know how you're dealing with that double card throughout the whole routine.
I think I should have explained that better. Okay. Let me see. Where did I put it? Is this it? No, I don't remember where I put them. Probably. Did I put them in my pocket? What deck? Oh, did I use the blue? No, I used the red deck, right? Okay, you know what? Since I don't have it, I'll just explain it in another way with duplicate cards. Let me get a. If I have a 5 of hearts in here, or a jack of clubs, or 5 of spades, I hope. Okay. I should go over the setup better. All right. So what you have. Oh, here's one. This is my, is this it? Oh, got it. All right, good. I always rough the joker. That way, I find it later in the deck. So the blue card is the other blue card. Here's the setup. Good, I'm glad I got this. I should go over it. Here's your setup. You've got a 4-card setup. You've got a red card that matches the deck, the card that matches your deck you're using. You got the stranger card, and then you've got the rough and smooth card here. And that could be anything. This card could be anything. I always use a joker so I can find my rough card. You can't see it, but before I sprayed it, I put a piece of tape here, and I put a piece of tape here, put a piece of tape here, and tape here. That way, now it's roughed, and here it's not rough. So the setup is double roughed card here, regular card. It's exactly the same as you would do Chicago opener or Blue Coat Daddy, except that the double card is in the center. So when you start off, they pick a card, whatever it is. When you drop it back on top, you drop in the blue one on top. You go through the deck, and you say, there's a blue card. Now, this is the double. This is the single. I cut the deck here and show that you show this card, and you're going to do a double with this card regular. You put it down. You're putting down a 5. Now, on the bottom, I've got the double, and I've got the regular card, and I keep the double on the bottom by pulling it like this. So I have the double card here when I come off the deck, and I shuffle the card I'm going to force to the top, and then I put 4 on top of it, and then I force it again. I force the dupe of that. It's always fifth. If you work at a slow pace, I would say 80% of the time, they say stop right here because they want to see the trick already. If not, goes under the spread. You say stop. I show it to you. Now we do the same thing. There's no blue card. That's blue. Cards on the bottom. You can shuffle it to the top. You can cut it to the top however you want to. You say, okay, I'm going to do it once more. I get it to the top. Shuffle 4 again. Now it's still fifth from the top. I do it the same way all the time because I don't want to have a lot of time, remembering one thing here. So I come here. Here's the double card. Yeah? But you wouldn't know. You just push it. No, because it's rough, you can push it off. Goes under the spread. When you say stop, I say this one. You turn everything over so they can see it. They sign it. It's a rough card, so I can push it over, turn it over. Goes into the deck, and later, it's in the deck. Since I'm going to spread down here, where the cards aren't roughed, when I come to the card, it should separate. I go now. See my hands? What you see where my thumb is now? Mm-hmm. It's way down here. So the card separates it. Now I show them that's a card. That's is that clearer now?
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's much more clear. And it does bring up one more question that I have. Do you ever let people keep that card, or do they ask to keep that card, or you just put that card away?
That's a very good question. And one thing is, they want to keep that card, but they want you to sign the card. They want your signature. So what you do is you say, I want you to keep this as a souvenir. Say, thanks, Natalie, thanks for helping me out. Remember me. And you sign your name, and they keep the card. They want to keep it, so it's a good idea. You just replacing that card again. And the reason that I use the rough card as a joker is because I want to know where it is, and I can find it again later and make another gimmick card out of it. Okay? Is that clear?
Yep.
All right, let's move on. I like this trick because it has 8 endings. And I think you should keep going as long as you can. One thing. Just keep going. Some of it's from old magic books that you can read. All of the effects look good. I'll tell you the effect that I think usually gets the biggest response is something that's really, really old. So we'll start off by, I dump this. I borrow your ring.
Get it off this time.
Thank you. Now, one thing to do, if you're going to do this trick, is to look around and see who has a ring. You want to spot people. If you don't see anybody with a ring, maybe you want to give me yours if you plan on doing this effect. I like it. The first one is very simple. I say I'm going to do it covered because I don't want you to see how I do it. And under the scarf, I'm doing this. I'm pushing this here. I'm turning a little bow here like that. Obviously, that is not on. And underneath the scarf, I'm going to pull this thing through the ring, like that. If I pulled this thing all the way through the ring, it would be on the scarf. But you don't know that. So where you are here, it looks like this to the people watching. I say, did you see it go under? They say no. I go, here, hold this end. My finger is here in the loop. So that when I pull this, it does the job for me.
Nice.
Clever, isn't it? Wish I thought it up. So that's like that, and you say it really is there, and they don't believe it. It looks like a knot, and you pull it, and it's on there, and that's your first reaction. They say, yeah, it really is on there, and I show it to you. Now, I have you hold that end, and I have you hold this end, and, okay, it's already off. It's sort of a heavier ring would have made my life a lot easier, but no, that's no. I mean, it just would have. But that's the way. So you just hold it up higher. I come down, the ring is here, in between my thumb and index finger. Right? I have you hold this end. Now, when I come over here to grab the other end, I just let go of the ring. I hold that. No, hold it tight. See, it's up here. All I have to do is move my thumb, and the ring falls. So I have it hidden like that. I have you hold that, and as I come over, I drop the ring. You hold that, and very simple, ring's off. Make it look like it's on there, pull it off again. Say I'm going to do it again. There's a lot of moves. There's a move where you can come down this way and put it in there and come like that. Works a little better with a heavier ring. So when I don't have a heavy ring, I just put my thumb through there like it's through, but it's not. It's sticking out. I pull down. It's not on. The rope is in front of the ring. I get the ends like this and hold it like that. See, it looks like it's on there. You can actually show it, but it's not on there. You pull it, comes off. Now, you say you're going to do it again. If I can get the rope to go from my hand up. Now, this is the trick, excuse me, was originally called ring flight. Great effect. How many don't know what ring flight is? Well, I'm going to tell you anyway because I don't know who's oh, you at home. How many don't know? Okay, that many? All right. It's a reel, like a little fishing reel, a hook. You got it in your pocket, and you've got the other end here, and you borrow the ring, and you say, watch, and you close your hand, and bing! You open up your hand, it's gone, you reach in your pocket here, you shake it out, and the little ring is on the key fob, and you show it. Great trick. The only trouble is, it's a mechanical trick, and one day, it's not going to work. I was working in a restaurant. When I was first starting, I worked my way across the country. I'd go into a bar and I'd say, hey, I'll just work here for tips, whatever. But one thing I would do with the waitress, I would pick a friendly waitress out and I would give her 4 $5 bills. And I would say, during the night, if you see me at a table more than 4 or 5 minutes, come over and say, give me a 5 and say, that was from the other table. And keep one for yourself. So I was actually paying her $5 a night to let people know that they were supposed to tip me. And then I would get those $5 and then, we might do it 6 or 7 times a night. And that way, if I do some tricks, I say, do some more, do it for my, and then they say, this is from, $5 back when I was doing close-up magic was a lot of dough. So, and I would say, that's from the other table. And then these people would get a hint. Anyway, so we were friendly. So now, oh, here's my new diamond ring. Here's my engagement ring. Do a trick with that. Okay, here we go. Look, the ring is gone. And here is nothing. And I sort of had broken off. I'm going, I go, I guess you're wondering where that ring is. And the waitress said, here it is. And she came over with it. Best reaction I ever got. What happened? It broke off and it hit her. It hit her on the leg. But for a minute there, I'm going to be working here the next year.
It's a lot better ending to that story than most of them. And, yeah.
Jason Randall, I don't know if you know him, great magician, lost a ring. He was on a boat. It was docked. He had to hire a diver to come get it. It cost him like $3-4. So anyway, I don't want anything that's going to break, and I don't want anything like that. And also I found out that this gets a better reaction. It's so stupid. So the first time you do it, you say, would it be good if I got it here? Second time, it's so simple. You put it on your second finger, and you put your first finger in. How easy is that? Ready? Watch. That looks great, doesn't it? You can show your hand, and then you just load it in here. And then I've got a giant hole here. It's all completely cut out, so you can have a really big ring. Don't worry about it. Just get a piece of foam from some, now the way they ship things when you order things in the mail, you get just a big piece of foam rubber, open it up, bink, and that's it. It looks really good. Most women don't, I'm sure every guy has done this growing up, right? That's the kind of idiots we are. But the women go, oh, it looks like a ring. You have them touch it. You let them know. It gets a big laugh. You put it down. I like it. I like it better. I don't want any. I used to have a electronic card rise, and I had all of this stuff. You know what I call them? Prayer tricks. Because before you do them all, you're going, oh, please. Hope the battery works. Hope the transmitter works. Hope this doesn't break. I don't want to think about it, and I don't want to have to deal with it. So that's it. So now I go, you don't even need a ring. Thank you very much. Put your ring back on. Make sure they put the ring back on. Because I just gave the ring to somebody once, and I'm doing a trick, and all of a sudden she says, my ring is gone. Sort of ruined the show until she reached in her pocket and said, oh, I forgot to put it back on. No, but I mean, so this is the best. Right through my finger without coming off the ends. I'll have you do it. Hold it. You hold it. I keep my fingers here so it can't come off the end, but actually I keep my fingers here so you can't see this. It's not on there. This is Ray Grismer. And it's people love this part. You show it the first time, you're going to get it go right through your hand. The second time, when you come down, you bend your finger. It's not on there. I give it to you. I turn it over. You see, I'm covering it. I tell you I'm going to keep my fingers here so it can't come off the end, which isn't true. I'm covering this and you pull it. That looks really amazing. Now I tell you this part. I think it's called threading the needle or grandma's something or other. But you've got a loop here. This is more amazing than anything else. It's the simplest damn trick. What you're doing, you come from the back, you come over and over and over. You make a loop like that. And what you're doing is the rope is coming through those fingers. Boop. Look at that. That's the way it works. Coming here. The rope is coming through those fingers. And that's what makes the illusion work. Every time you do it, you lose a loop. So make sure you have enough loops that it's not noticed. So here, I bend this finger way down, and all I have to do is hit here and up. Does that look amazing? 1, 2, boop. That's it. Sometimes this gets the biggest reaction for some reason, because people know the rope, they know it's a regular rope. I relax, and now usually people are going over that with a fine-tooth comb. I steal a little knot. You just get another one of these, you make a knot. And then you do the hunter bow where you tie it like this, you pull one end through the other. This is a slip knot, but you don't want to pull it that much. You don't want it to come off before you're done. So you pull here like that, make it as tight as you can, pull them through here, and then make sure the knot doesn't, and I have you hold this, and I have you hold that. You can just come over here and say, okay, pull. You can actually just pull it off. Good, pull. And pull it off. That looks downright amazing. That's how simple it is. You just add in that piece. And that's it. So that's 8 effects in about 3 or 4 minutes. That's why I like the effect. Okay? Thank you. I'll get rid of this.
Now, before we get rid of that,
sorry.
We did have somebody who tweeted in, and they were a little unclear with the first ring knotting thing, and I think maybe it was because we had a black background here.
I know,
and
that's
a black
yeah.
string. So if you could show them how you tie that on
that's
there.
A great. Boy, you're hosting this very well, man. That's
well,
really good.
thank you very much.
That's really good. Hey, you got great. All right, comes here like this. That's a loop in the rope. I take one end, I tie a bow around it like that. Now, if I pull this now, what happens? Nothing. The ring isn't on the rope. So you pull on it like this, come up like this, you tie a bow. I have to get this, if I pull this end through, it'll be on on the ring, so it's covered up. Underneath the scarf, I just keep pulling this end, pulling this end, pulling this end, pulling this end, like that. And I try to get as much of the rope off the ring as possible. I mean, much of the rope through the ring as possible. I stop like that. That's what you have with a big loop here. Now I say, did you see this end go under? Did you see that go under? No, neither end went under. Fingers here, because that is what's going to make that happen. Does it look better? I'll do it again just so you see what you see what it is. The misdirection on it is really good. Underneath the scarf, I go like this. I make a bow. I pull this through. And of course, as it's going under, as you're pulling it under, people are starting to laugh. You know, because then you say, hey, where are you from? Like you're going to do something sneaky. And that's it. That's it. Fingers here. Just make believe the scarf's there. All right, boom, boom, boom. Did you see this end go under? Did you see that end go under? No, neither end went over. I'm looking here. I'm pulling here. It's on there. That's how simple it is. Okay?
Yeah. Cool.
Is that clear?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm gonna need that paper back.
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
And then, is it okay to clear this, or are you leaving the table?
No,
for now?
I don't
Okay.
need this anymore.
All right.
Let me move this.
Let's get rid of the table.
Okay. Now, trade shows. Okay, I'll have you, okay, thanks. Let me get somebody else up here who, come on. And I say, who would you like to meet here? Come on up. Him? Okay. 1 second, don't come up yet. Okay, hold on to this. This guy's going to come on over. Come on up here. No. What's your name? Neil. Hey. Here we go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have you pick a card here, say stop.
Stop.
Okay, that's it. I'll do it. I usually wouldn't do it this way, but I'm doing it so the camera can see. That's your card, 5 of hearts. I want you to remember your card, and to make it easy for you, I'm going to rip it. That way, if you pull the rest of it off for me. Okay, so hold on to your card. Your card is the
5 of hearts.
5 of hearts. To make it easy, I'll go like this. Boop, 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 boop. You're not going to believe this. Here, let me hold this. You don't have a pocket?
I do.
Okay. Hold it for a second.
Okay.
We'll make it easy. In my hand, count the cards into my hand one at a time.
All right.
Count the cards into my hand one at a time. And stop at your card. Now, you're going to be able to tell your card 2 ways. One, you know what it is. It's the 5 of hearts, right? Second of all, you know what it is because it's got a piece missing. So just run through there really quickly. It's going to be easy to spot. It's red. It's a heart. It's got a piece missing. Red heart. Oh, there's the 5 of diamonds. It looks like your card, but it's not. Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Up, up. Nope, that's the 3. Keep going. I thought it was a 5, but it's not. Well, it doesn't have. No, sir. Unbelievable. You had a piece missing. You see that guy over there? Mm-hmm. He's got something for you. Go over there. See that envelope? Mm-hmm. Open it up. Well, why don't you do it together? Open it up. Tell me what's in there. Does it look like it fits?
It does.
What? Yeah. Let me. What? No, you can keep it for a second. All right. You know, people talk about, the ways you make money. Oh, you do trade shows. You do this, you that. Trade shows are a really great way to make money. But most people don't know how to sell it. One thing you always hear, sell a sizzle, but not the steak. to sell the benefits but not the features. I'm thinking about having you for my party. What do? Oh, I do the ambitious card. Oh, I produce silks. Oh, I produce a rabbit. Oh, I read people's minds. Nobody cares. What are you going to do? I'm going to entertain your audience. They're going to be really happy, and they're going to say you're the best hostess they've ever had in their life. That's what you sell them. That's why they hire you. Trade shows. What do they want? They want people to come to the booth. They want to have potential buyers come to the booth. They don't care what you do. If you can't build a crowd, they're not interested in you. So I came up with this, and I call it connection. And the way I sell it is, need $1 million? Here's a trick worth $1 million. I'll just read it to you fast because it's the reason I do it. No way. That's what Richard P. Noble, president of IBK Software, thought until he met Rich Marotta. As Noble tells it, I've been trying to meet an important client for a long time, but had no success. Then I met Rich Marotta, the best magician in New York City. He told me he could put me together with any potential customer I wanted. Skeptical, I told him who I wanted to meet. 5 minutes later, the client approached me. Somehow I had the missing piece of Rich's card. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so here's my pitch. Hey, you got a trade show? You want somebody? I'll tell you what. I will put you together with anybody you want to meet. You don't meet them, you don't pay me. No connection, no fee. There's really something great about guaranteeing that people are always interested in getting something where they don't have to pay. So they're going, so is a person you want to meet? You don't get to meet them, you don't pay me. Now, of course, they say, yes, but there's 2 caveats. One, a person has to be at the trade show, give me a break. And 2, I have to be able to perform for them. Sometimes it happened once or twice, I didn't get a chance to perform for them. But if I get a chance to perform for them, I do the trick. And this is it. I give the guy, all right, I'll show you what it is. I'll take this one out. It's a special card. Double face card, regular card glued to it with a piece missing. And this piece fits here. Now you don't have to use it. You can hold the cards together and rip them off. I use the intercessor gimmick, but I've been doing this trick before the intercessor gimmick came out, and I just ripped it together. The interesting thing is that this piece matches this card. This is the piece that goes with that card. I once did a show for a bunch of some kind of engineers, and they had some kind of high-powered microscope. They put the goddamn thing under the microscope. But so what it is, you take 2. You take 2. It's all explained on a thing if you want to get it, but you don't need. You get a double face card. You get 2 ace of hearts. You rip them. 1 ace of hearts. I'm going to glue on 3 sides. The other one, I'm going to get the piece that matches that and put that in this envelope. This piece matches that card. And I put it in here in the pocket. That's my setup. The only thing I do, I go through the deck and I make sure I get rid of the other ace of hearts because I don't want you picking that. And I get rid of the 8 of hearts because that's the card you're going to see when I take it over. And I need a duplicate king of spades that goes here. And this is my setup. Now, sometimes I'll just palm it in there, but you don't have to do that. So, I tell the guy, whoever runs the booth, I say, hold on to this card. And he usually has it up here like this. And they say, who do you want to meet? And they tell me who they want to meet. I don't start off with it. I do a couple of tricks first. And then usually I have them shuffle and I palm it on. And what's going to make this easy to do, you just cut the deck and that's it. If you riffle down here, it's going to automatically snap at that double card because it's thicker. So the force is really simple. I just say stop. I'll come down here, stop. Boop, you say stop. It's automatic. it automatically breaks right there. I turn it up, and I say, that's your card, and I want you to see the king of spades. Because now when I come back here, say that, you don't see this part, but I say your card, I want you to remember it, and I start to rip it. But when I start to rip it, what I do is I pull the card up, I press down here with my pinky really hard, and I start ripping the card and ripping the card and ripping the card and ripping the card. And then I stop here. This is really convincing. It's really convincing. And I say, here, rip the rest of it, and you press down hard. You actually get a tug on there. They're convinced they ripped that card. And since they see the king underneath, they think that's the situation. There's no reason for them to expect it. They remember pulling it off. You can't press too hard on that. And if you after they grab it, if you pull down at the same time, I don't know if we can we get a camera here? No, we can't. Anyway, no, just see it's here. You stop. You say pull it the rest of the way, and as they grab it, you pull down. It really feels like you're ripping it off. Now all I do, I want to reverse this card, so I get the cards that are underneath the break, and I put them on top, and I put these cards like that, and the gimmick card is here. I go like this. Now, if I give them the cards, I make sure, if we had a table or something, it would have been easier, but I make sure that if they take the card, they grab this side. You don't want them grabbing this side because they might grab it up here and feel it. So now I just say, count the cards into my hand, and this is all right in front of them, and they see the cards gone. I mean, it's an amazing vanish. You can't, they just pulled it, and then I go, well, you know what, you see that guy over there with that thing? I think he's got your card. And of course, this guy, he's a businessman, he's waiting for this guy. What do you think? How's that? It's amazing. Yeah, he did it for me, blah, blah. You start a conversation. One time, sometimes I do it at a bar. Guy says he wants to meet some girl. You can do it for that. But why waste it on that when you can? So that's what I do at a trade show. Actually, I'll tell you a funny story. I'm at a bar and I go, anybody you want to meet? The guy says, I want to meet that girl over there. I go, okay. And of course, the wise guy goes, like she's going to talk to you. So I said, I work in New York. You got to know what New Yorkers are like. I go, buddy, she'll have her hand in my pants in 5 minutes. So I don't know if you know it, but I do card to pocket. They pick a card, and I go, there it is. Look, it's in the pocket. Is that your card? And I take it out, and I go, here, I'll do it again, and I reach in there, and I do it again, and then I take it out of this pocket because I can palm all the time. Then I take it out of this pocket, and my joke is, you want to reach in there and get it? And sometimes they say yes, and it's low, and they reach in there and get it. So I said to the woman, you want to reach in there and get it? And she said yes. So as she put her hand in my pocket to get it, I turned so that the guy could see that she had her hand in my pocket, like I promised. And when I turned like this, I moved her a little bit, and she goes, why'd you do that? And I go, I told that guy you'd have your hand in my pants. And so as soon as I said that, she took her hand and she undid my pants. They had to carry that guy out of there. But that's what happens when you work for New Yorkers. Now, they're a tough crowd. So that's called connection. It really does. Don't forget, the main thing is if you're going to be selling your product, you got to have people that want to buy your product, and you got to sell them something that they want. All right, now what I'm going to do, I want to do my walk around stuff. So I'm going to need 4 people up here, and I'm going to show you what I do when I start off. You can. It's all right. I'm just emptying my pockets here, and okay. So.
You gonna need that chair at all?
What?
The chair there? Do you need it?
I don't need it.
I'm gonna get it out of the way.
When I do walk around magic, I have my sleeves rolled up. I think it's very important because it just saves a lot of time. Also, now, I mean, it looks a little better than this, but here's the thing. You're hired, and this is what I do this more than anything else. I mean, I've got a weekly stand-up show that I do. I got a club, and I have a couple of other magicians perform every week. I do that every week. I do regular shows. I do bar mitzvahs. But what I mainly do in New York, every day in New York, there's a cocktail party. There's a hospitality suite. They're flying people in for a conference. They're having a meeting. If you want to try and do that, you know, you can go to people. You're having a convention, you're having a conference. I help get people together. I call myself an icebreaker. It's not that original thing, but in New York, you got like people from all over the country coming together, and magic really brings them together. And the only way you really get better with magic is doing magic for regular people, not for your magic friends. You know, you've got to crash and burn, you know, and do stuff that you think is the greatest, and people like three fly. You know what three fly is? You know what how I'd rate that for laymen? 1. Oh, that's nice. They don't care. Magicians love it. They think it's great. But from doing it, I know that, yeah, okay, you can, you know. So you got to work for regular people. And if you just go around saying, you know, let me do this, let me do that. Everybody's had this, some kind of meeting here all the time that you should be paid to do an hour. Sometimes you do an hour close-up, then they go in for dinner, or they're having a conference and they want to relax beforehand, or they do this and that. But anyway, they're walking around. You have different conditions. They have a drink in one hand, they have food in the other, or they have something else going on. So you have different conditions. So let me get you two, and you two, come on up, like you two. Now, usually, how you doing? Usually, everybody would be dressed like me because it's a cocktail party. So I want to be dressed well, but I want to stand out. Because the thing is, I'm going to come over to these people and start talking to them. Who are you? And what are you doing here? You know, so now I have a deck of cards in my hand, my sleeves are rolled up. You know, I mean, I look weird to begin with, but it doesn't mean I'm weird enough to come over and start talking to you. So, you know, so it's like, well, so that way I can come up and go, hey, guess who I am? You know, I'm the magician. Can I do some stuff for you? So here you go. Touch a card, anyone you want, anyone. All right, you're going to touch that one? All right, that's it. Take a look at it. Can you see it? You got it? There it is. There's your card. Look, goes in the deck. Somewhere in the deck is your card. I don't know where it is. I don't know what it is. Now, usually, I don't give these terms away. But since I like you, I'm going to tell you this is what we call in the magic business big fan. Oh, baby. Does that look like a big fan? It does. Look at your card. Concentrate on it. I'll tell you what it is. Look at it. Concentrate. Having trouble? Make it a little easier for you. Here you go. Look at your card. Concentrate on it. I'll tell you what it is. Is that it? That 1,000 so far? Okay, your turn. Touch one. There's one. Okay, that's it. Can you all see it? I don't want you to forget it. I'm going to leave it sticking out of the deck like that. And use my scarf here to wrap up the deck. There it is. There's your card, right in the middle of the deck. I'm going to wrap it up in this scarf. Here we go. Here, 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 here. And if I just give it a little shake here. Okay, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. One card comes through. 6 hours. There you go. I'm feeling pretty lucky. I think I'll do it again. Here, take one, take one, take one, take one. Take one, take one, take one, take one. Show it to everybody, all of the other people. All for you. You got it? Will you remember what it is? You won't forget it?
I won't forget.
You got it? Your card here. Here we go again. Cover it up. Oh. Hey, those acting lessons are paying off, aren't they, folks? One card happens to rise up. Is that your card? Is it your card? Aha, very good. What was your card?
Two of spades.
The three of spades.
Two of spades.
Two of spades. Now, people argue with me all the time about shuffling. Should you let people shuffle? Should you not let them shuffle? And I say, I have to let people shuffle because most of the time they want to shuffle. But I would say, don't shuffle because they'll just drop it. They say they can shuffle, but they can't shuffle. One more before we go. Just name anyone as I go through.
King of spades.
The king of spades, okay. Take the pen. Have you sign that? Sign the king.
Just across the middle.
Yeah. Okay. That's your card. King of spades. Make it easy for you to remember. I'm just going to fold it like this. Fold it like that. Hold out your hand. Hold it. Oh, you got it? You got one? I'll take one. Well, that's good. You got the king of spades. I'll take the king of clubs. Right, that'll be my card. Go like this. Open up your card. Now you should have the king of clubs, I think. And I got your card with your signature on it. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. All right, let me explain this stuff now. You can. All right, this is what you're doing. People are coming up here. They didn't really have to take a card. He looked at a card. He looked at a card. This person picked a card. This person picked. They're going to be busy. The main thing to remember: everybody got into the act. That's one thing. If you have 4 people helping you out, you want 4 people you're doing the trick for. You don't want to leave anybody out. And if you can help it, you don't want them to always be holding. This person had both hands busy, so I did. This person had both hands busy. These people, somebody's going to have a hand free where they can take a card. But if not, you do it. So it's basically 4 different tricks. The first one, they touch a card. I show it to them. I put it in the deck. It's on top. I use 2 controls. I only use 2 controls. The other one, he looks at a card. That's his card. He touches a card. I leave it sticking out of the deck. It's on the bottom. I use 2 controls, one to the top, one to the bottom. That's it. I'll show you what they are. First one's based on a Bert Allerton move. They touch a card. You show them a card, but that's not the top card. That's the second card. I'll show you what it looks like from my point of view. Here it is. Touch a card. This one, okay, take a look at it. This is all based on Hofzinger's card magic. You're changing the relative position of those 2 cards. That's what's great about it. So they touch this card. In the process of showing it to them, you're pulling it back and showing them the other card. So they think they're seeing this card. They're seeing the second card. Another good thing about this move, you can do it can be angly. If you're worried about somebody here, you can just say, take a look at it. I'm doing the same thing, but now I don't have to worry about somebody seeing this from the back. But most of the time, it's close enough. I show it to them. They think that's their card. It actually goes, so this card's here, this card's here, the card's on the top of the deck. Very simple control. Looks really good. Now you're just doing a Pharaoh shuffle, and all you have to do is get the top portion into the bottom portion. Now I'm going to make a big fan. Hold it over here, as far over as possible. Have your thumb meet where the 2 things meet, and just spread the cards out and make a big fan. That's it. It's a lot easier than it seems. This is way over here, cocked way over here. And my thumb comes in exactly where they join, and I turn, and this is where I end up. Giant fan, big fan. And I show you the fan. But when I lift up the fan, I go like that. How easy is that? Very simple. So remember, the card's on the top of the deck. I'll tell you why. So card's on the top of the deck. And now it's here. Here's the selected card. I make a big fan. Right? My thumb winds up here. I say, look at that. big fan. And as I lift it up to show them, I go like that. Trick's over. Now, do you see your card? I'm back here, I can even raise it up a little bit more. And so what I want the reaction. I want everybody to see the card. So I say, do you see your card? Sometimes they say yes because they're embarrassed. Another person will say no. Say, I'll make it easy for you. And you come here and you push forward so that you've got all the cards. My hand is in front of it, so boom, you get a really startling revelation at the end. I like to start off with this because they don't have to pick a card, they don't really have to do anything. It shows skill, but you're not doing any of that juggling stuff. The people are impressed that you can do this, so you're letting them know that you have some skill without, doing all of those fancy shuffles and stuff that I personally don't like. So you're here, look at that, big fan. You show it to them. Trick's over. Come forward. So once your thumb is here, your hand is here, boom. That gets a great reaction. That's my first effect. All right. Now, I'm going to do it for the next guy. This guy does one. There you go. Take a look at that card. I leave it sticking out of the deck. It goes to the bottom. It's called convincing control. And then, so here's what you're doing. I show the card, and then the process, it's the same thing. You're changing the relative position of these two cards. That's what you're doing. In the process of pointing to the card, I rest my finger on it, so I have a little table. That way, I don't have to worry about the cards not aligning. You notice when I did this move, when I show it to you, I'm straddling the deck with my fingers so the cards stay in alignment. Same thing here with the other control. I'm here. I go like this. That way, they're together. And my thumb is over the second card. My fingers are over the first card. And this is what's going to happen. I'm just changing the positions of those cards. So they touch a card. This one, you show it. Say, remember that. That gets me in position with the finger. My thumb is over the second one. My finger's over the third. A good rule of thumb is to look at their nose, and as you come even with their nose, you change the position of the cards. And that's it. Card goes to the bottom. If you're working for fast company, you can show the card, do the same thing. Don't forget the card is here, and you can actually push it and put it second from the bottom if you wanted to. But you can put the card anywhere you want because you've controlled it. So the card is on the bottom. So here we go. Here's the trick. Ready? Got it? This card? Good. You like it? Don't forget it. I'm going to leave it sticking out of the deck. It's on the bottom. Now I show the scarf. I make sure I grab it in the middle. I come over and lift the deck up and cover so that I can put it on my hand to cover the deck. But I'm taking that card with me. The card's on the bottom of the deck. Make believe I have the scarf in my hand. I just buckle, very easy. I come over here. I pick up the deck, the scarf, come back over. It's just a really easy way to get this is one of the first tricks I ever learned, but I just improved it a little bit with so it's here. You say your card's sticking out. And you can do this, sir. I'm going to cover the deck. Cards out of the deck. Drop it on top. You move it forward. Now, get a scarf where you can tell about where the middle of the scarf is. So the card's sticking out. I push it and I move it forward. And I wrap the deck up. Now, since the card, you can turn that over. Look at that. That looks like it's really wrapped in there. And you just grab this. And of course, from the back, when you shake, the card comes down. No, this way. The card comes down. Don't let it fall out. Hold it. Push it forward. You show it's here. You show the card. And now if you bring your thumb up here before you drop it, they can see that the deck is still wrapped in the scarf. So that's my second trick. And so far, it's taken about a minute. Now, this person takes a card, this person takes a card, and I control them to the top by various methods. Let's say it's the ace of clubs and the ace of spades. just for the hell of it. Sometimes I overhand shuffle. There's a million ways to do it. All you have to do is get both cards to the top of the deck, and this person's card is second from the top, and this person's card is on top. There's a reason for that. Now, Bobby Baxter, he's a great magician. You probably don't know him. This is his trick. Get this. You rub it. You rub it. You rub it. Whoosh. That's an amazing effect, I think. And it fits with the other trick I've done with, I'm using a scarf. It's very, very simple. All you're doing is you're getting the cards to the top of the deck. You've got the, where did I put them now? The ace of spades and the ace of clubs. When you cover up the deck, you get a break, like that. Make believe I have a scarf over it. I go like this, stick my pinky out, rises up. But what's great about it is that if you angle the scarf back, you can't see that pinky. I mean, that looks really good. Might as well milk it. What the hell? And then you pull it down. Now, I grab it at the corner and I show the card. This is the position you want to be in, and I say, "Is this your card?" It's not their card. I know it's not their card. Is it your card? Yes. Now I'm going to do a top change. Now, I've worked for years on top change. It'll never be as good as David Williamson's, but it works for me. A top change you here, and then they would say, "You're going to top change it for the top card of the deck." Here, no. Turn and look at the person, and as you do it, so that's is that your card? No. How about here? Is it your card? Well, since I was never happy with it, I thought, wait a second. If I have a scarf in my hand, nobody's going to think I can do anything. That's what really makes the move. This effect is amazing because it doesn't seem that you can do anything with a scarf in your hand, but it's exactly the same thing. I hold it here the same exact way. Is this your card? No, now I turn here. Now there's nothing, you can't see anything. I'm already covered. So you're here. Is that your card? Oh, it's your card. Okay. Well, anyway, everybody, what was your card? You just say, what was your card? And you've changed the card. And now when this card changes, it just seems much more amazing because you've got a scarf in your hand. That's how simple it is. So that's the second part. And that gets a really great reaction too. So now I have one more that I usually do just because I want them to have a signed card. It's really simple. In my pocket, I have 2 duplicate cards back to back. I have an insert that I don't have with me that I carry sometimes where I just keep taking 2 cards out of my pocket. Blue Coke, Daddy here, and I just keep adding them to the deck. So now I have a pretty good palm. I'll take it in my pocket. They'll shuffle up the cards. I'll come back. I'll put them on the bottom. But it's not that complicated. So what it is, you've got 2 duplicate cards back to back that I add to the face of the deck. And I have a bunch of them. So then I say thank you very much. And when I walk over to the next group of people, I take those cards out and I put them again. One thing you usually do when you work in hospitality suites, you're doing the same 5 or 6 tricks over and over. You just reset as you go into the next group of people. So I say, this gives me an instant double. I say, touch a card. So this one's already signed, makes it easy. I go, okay, to Jack, I want you to sign it, and I give them the pen. And when they're taking the pen, I take this card out and turn it face over on the face of the deck. And it's allowed me to get a simple, immediate double. So they sign it. Now, this move, there's a move for doing an ambitious card where this is 2 cards now. You say, all right, I'm going to get your card, I'm going to put it in the deck. And so what you're doing is, as you turn it over, you're pushing that card forward. It looks really good. You push it in there, and the card's still back on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that card. So now when I do this, it looks like I'm doing it to fold the card. So the move, it's a perfect move. It's a perfect move for what I want to do. I go, okay, that's your card. You've signed it. I'm going to fold it. And I'm using the front of the deck to fold the card. This is the 3. and I have them hold it and sign it. While they're doing that, I'm getting ready to do another double, and that's their card. And now I show this. You don't have to sign this card. It only slows the effect down. One card is, I go, that's your card, this will be my card. I do exactly the same thing. There's this, I do exactly the same thing. I'm pushing it forward to fold it. And now I fold this. Now what do you show first? The signature is much more impressive. So they have this card. They think that's their card, signature card. They open up and go, no, now you have my 3, and look, I have your card. Simple. A simple sign transposition, that's it. You walk, you say thank you, you reach your pocket, you go to the next one. Any questions on this one?
I think that's it. Yeah, it's great.
All right.
There was actually, Rich, I'm pretty sure that this question has to do with the very first control that you used. He's saying the Hofzinser move to get the car to the top again. I believe it was the Bert Allerton,
Right.
you know.
Oh,
use
right.
of
Okay,
that.
now,
Yeah.
I said Hofzinger because they're all
kind of based on that. Yeah.
They're all based on that. That's where the original stuff was written of changing the positions of the cards. Okay. But Bert Allerton came up with this one. Somebody touches a card. You put your thumb on the top card. You put your fingers on the second card. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull your thumb back, and you're going to straighten your fingers. Do it again. Straighten your fingers, push your side card, pull your thumb back. So that's the move. That's all you're doing. The reason it stays in alignment is because I've straddled the deck with my pinky and index finger. So that's that. Now, when I lift up, I push the second card out, and I pull the first card back. So I say, this card here, process of raising it up. I'll do the process of raising it up. That's it. It looks perfect. Here. Thumb on top, thumb on the first card, fingers on the second. Should be simple. Just think of it, the other control is the same way. I point it out.
If you wouldn't mind, Rich, just doing the follow-through on that, on the first one, showing how you then deal off the,
Okay.
the
All right.
top card.
Touch a card, this one here, okay. Take a look at it. You got it? That's your card. Look, I'm going to put it into the deck. So you just let it fall back. That's the card they're looking at. You show this one. After they've looked at it, you can just let it go and show this one. Or, if you want, you can just reverse what you've done and do that. But I sort of like to drop it back. That's your card. Remember your card. They think they're seeing the top card. Ready? Now I'm going to put your card into the deck. You're putting the second card in the deck. Let's do it face up. That's an easy way to follow it. Okay. Which card? This one here? Take a look at it. You got it? Okay, let me put it into the deck. Does that seem clearer?
And yeah, pretty. And then you would finish after you insert it. Then you would cut the other one.
Okay, right.
Just,
All right, so
just all the way, because I think he was a little confused as to following the entire process.
Okay. Lay off the booze. Okay.
It's a good move. You know, that's the thing.
All right. Okay. Touch your card. You got it? That's your card. Now look, I'm going to put it into the deck and into the deck. Your card is somewhere in the deck. I don't know where it is. I don't know what it is. Usually I don't give these terms away, but since I like you, I'll tell you this is what we call in the business big fan. The reason we call it a big fan, it looks like a big fan. Look at your card, concentrate on it. I'll tell you what it is. Can't see it? Let me make it just a little easier for you. Here you go. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool.
All right. I need about, I'm going to do my some stand-up stuff now. Give me a couple of minutes to set it up.
Yeah. All right. I'll do something. Does somebody here have a deck of cards with them? David, you do? Yeah. David, why don't you come on over here and have a seat with me? I'll show you something. And, you know, we'll just take a couple of minutes and do it, and then if we have some time, we'll explain it too. I'm involved in a really big project right now with Penguin. It's kind of secretive, but I've told a few people about it. I can only hint at what it's about. Basically, I'm taking some old books that everybody knows really, really well, and I'm performing and then teaching every single trick in all of the volumes of those books. And some of the tricks, I'm taking the original method and I'm updating it, and this is one of the kind of upgrades that I've made to an effect. If you'll shuffle those up for me, just make sure that they're really well mixed. That's your deck of cards?
Yeah.
Yeah? Now, just for the fun of it, just name any card.
Jack of clubs.
Jack of clubs, I want to make sure that it's in here. Jack of clubs, Jack of clubs. So you had to name one that's not in here. Let's see. Maybe I passed it. My eyes are getting a little... Well, I'm just going to trust you that it's in here, okay? Somewhere in there is a Jack of clubs. Your job is to find it. And there's a really cool way to find the card, and that is basically to do a countdown like you were launching something into space. I call this blast off. Now, have you ever seen them ever like launch the space shuttle or any other rocket into space? They do a countdown, but occasionally they do what's called scrubbing the launch. Like they're counting down, everybody's excited, 10, 9, 8, and then all of a sudden there's a problem. And then they have to restart. Well, the reason is usually a computer glitch. Like some numbers cause them to pay attention and go, oh, that can't be right. So we're going to do the same thing. From this shuffle deck, you're going to do a countdown. But as you're counting down each of the cards, if the numbers call our attention to it, if they happen to match, then we'll scrub the launch. This will all make sense to you. Pick up the cards in dealing position and then face up, deal the first card and say 10. And if it's a 10, we'd stop.
10.
Then 9, and if it's a 9, we'd stop.
9.
Yeah, and then keep going.
8.
Yeah, good. 7.
6.
6. Oh, so you'd have to stop right there. Okay, so we're going to scrub that one for right now. Okay, now try the same thing again. 10.
9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
No, there's blast off. That's successful. So you deal another one. Blast off! Yes, fantastic. All right, so that's a successful launch. Try again.
10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5.
There's a problem. Scrub the launch. Okay? Scrub the launch. So we scrub that one. All right, that's fine. All right, try it again.
10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
And?
Blast off.
No, you got to deal a card for blast off. Yeah. Yes, successful. All right, fantastic. So 2 successful launches. Now, what was that card that you mentioned before?
Jack of clubs.
Jack of clubs, yeah. Here's the unsuccessful launches, a 6 and a 5. You can drop the rest of those on top of there. This is the weird thing. These computer glitches, they propagate through the entire system. If you were to add the scrubbed launches together, right where you had to stop, the random launches, 5 and a 6, you'd get an 11. Wouldn't it be weird? Wouldn't it be magical? Wouldn't it be strange if you were to deal down 11 cards and there was a Jack of clubs? Yeah. Why don't you try it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's the 11th card. Let's see it. There's your Jack of clubs. and David, for helping me out with this, I'm going to give you a deck of cards that you can keep for your very own, complete with a box that they go into and a fancy case to keep them straight. Let's give David a big round of applause. Thanks so much for helping out. You all set, Rich?
Okay.
All right.
That was good. You can't tell you what it is, but it's an amazing project. Anyway, I do stand up. You work in a regular club. The conditions are really different. It's just like this, where you have an audience. So I'm going to do what I do for you there for most of the time. But first, I have to check on my pets. See, here's my problem. I'm always on the road. I got pets. I ask people to take care of my pets while I'm gone. They say sure. Get home, dog's belly up on the rug, fish are floating on top of the water, cats in the microwave. Forget I'm not going to let that happen to me anymore. No, I'm just going to bring them with me. And that way I know where they are. Here they are. Let me reach in here, get out, introduce. Shit, I screwed it up. I screwed up my trick. I screwed up my trick. I can't do it.
Do you want to do it again?
We're
You
gonna
want to
start
reset
over?
and do it again? We don't mind.
I don't know why I screwed.
We do do-overs here.
I think I can do over.
We're all friends, yeah.
I think getting it together. When I went to get it together, I didn't check on what I was doing. Oh, there it is, fish. Okay. Okay. Well, that wasn't the best. See what happens when you rush. Anyway, that's my fish trick that I stood off with. Anyway, let's move along. But I had trouble the whole day here. You know, when I got here, I got lost and I didn't know where I was. I asked some guy how to get here, and he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "New York City." He said, "Let me make you feel at home." He robbed me. Beat me up, made me thank him. I know the police are going to catch him. You got a great police force in town, but I gave him a good description of the guy who robbed me. He looks like this. You see this? Oh, I forgot another thing. I'm not on the ball here. Okay, anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reenact the crime for you, just in case you happen to be there. He said, "Give me your wallet." I reached in my pocket. I took out my wallet. He didn't like it. Thought it was a lousy wallet. Just wanted the money. Made me take the money out and put it in here. As I'm doing that, he sees this watch. See this watch? This, I hate to brag, but this is a great watch. You know where I got it? You know anything about Canal Street, New York City? You know anything about it? International Free Trade Zone. You can get anything there if you know what you're doing. I hate to brag. I got an original Picasso, $100. I know it's going to be worth a lot of money because it's the only one he ever painted on black velvet. Thank you. Anyway, he said he wanted that watch, so I put that in it, and he saw this ring, genuine Diamel. I'll stay up late at night, get the ads off TV for that. He said he wanted that, so I put that in there. Of course, he didn't know I did magic. That's why when he got home, didn't have a thing. So he had the ring, had the watch, had the money back in the wallet. So that's sort of the way my act works. I do magic, you don't like that. I do comedy, you don't like that. I do more magic. You don't like either one. By the time you figure that out, I'm out of here. All right, for this next effect, I need an assistant up here on the stage to help. I don't want you to think I use a stooge or a shill or anyone planted in the, a lot of magicians rely on stooges and shills, people planted to. No, they do, but I never rely on anyone in the audience because a lot of times I have to work to an empty house. Not taking any, so here we go. Name out loud any number between 1 and 5. 4, absolutely correct. Come on up here. Okay. Does this look like a regular deck of cards to you?
Yes.
It does? That's because it's the wrong deck. I'll be right back with the fake deck. Now, here we go. I'm going to go through the cards anytime you want. Yell out stop. Makes no difference.
Stop.
Take a look at it. Hold it close. Wait, hold it close to you so I can't see.
Okay.
I'm going to put the cards away. After I do, I want you to show the card to the thousands of people here to see the show. Can you all see it? Oh, this ain't working. Used to open up. Damn, this mirror's broken. There goes that gig. Okay. Take the card and rip it right down the center.
This way?
Notice I spare no expense putting my act together. Put those pieces together. No, not like that. I'm doing the magic. I'm going to put them together. Thank you. I'm going to put them together one on top of the other. All right, very good. Turn it sideways. Rip it again. Put those pieces together. Rip it once more. Perfect. Drop all the pieces into the handkerchief. Now, you must rip that card in what, 180, 190 pieces, right? Exactly. Believe it or not, even though she ripped this card into thousands of pieces, on the count of 3, all the pieces will vanish from the handkerchief and reappear in an as yet undisclosed place. Feel something already, huh? Sorry I didn't bring my jumbo deck. Come on, it's a deck joke. It's a deck joke. 1, 2. Feel those pieces in there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. They should have been gone a long time ago. I don't care. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Unbelievable. All the pieces. Except for one. I've completely vanished. Come on, last night they all fell on the goddamn floor, so this is... Oh, It's a whole lot better trick already, isn't it? That's what here we go. Oh, hold on to this for 1 second.
Okay.
Here they are, 3 official and genuine oranges. I want you to pick any orange you want. You can have a free choice, any one you want. Absolutely free choice. Pick me, Ooh, baby, thank you. Okay, we'll go by your applause. This is orange number 1, this is 2, this is 3. Off orange number 1. Orange number 2. Yeah. Orange number 3. Sounds like 1, huh? Anyone you want. Which one you want? No, really, 1, 2, or 3. It's entirely up to you.
I want 2.
You want 2? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You don't want to change your mind back to the talking orange, huh?
No, I want 2.
Now, every time I start to do this, people begin to think the pieces are going to wind up in here. They never do, but this is so dramatic, I just really hate to leave it out of the act. Actually, that's not true. We'll find. Oop. You know, you try to get them to go before the show, but they don't have to. Not only have the pieces made it into the orange, but that card that you ripped into thousands of pieces is back to one whole complete card except for one piece. And look, it just fits. Thank you. Okay, one more. And then usually, by the way, if I'm doing my act, I don't do 2 card tricks in a row, but I do some other stuff, but I'm not going to do that because it's not really my stuff. I mean, you know, it's variations on a theme, so that's why I'm not going to do that stuff. I'll do one more, and then we'll explain how these all work. Oh, that's bad. Don't let me, just take it. Hold it up. Show it everybody. If I get the card, look at, they're all starting to stick together here. Okay. Now, I'm gonna, you know, I'll tell you, this is a really great venue. I've worked some that are, so, you know, the one good thing about doing a trick is you should try to use, just take tricks with ordinary props. Excuse me, what the hell is this? Nice place they have here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and attempt to find your card. I'll use the rat trap to find your card. How's that? I'll throw the cards in the air and capture the card in the rat trap. That'd be good? Okay, tell me, give me a hint. Was your card a red card? Okay, what was the suit? Good. How about the number? Good. Oh, give me a break. I'm going to throw the cards in the air. I'm going to capture the card in the rat trap. The least you could do is give me a hint and tell me what the card is. Okay, here we go. In the air, in the rat trap. Ready? 4 cards. In the air, in the rat trap. Here we go. In the air, in the rat trap. Here we go. Here it goes. Give me a hint. 4 cards. Only works if you have a rat trap laying around. All right, let me explain these. First of all, I always end my act with this trick because I screwed that up. Because I've got cards all over the floor, and I use an old deck because, you know, it's all getting messy. In fact, I'll work my way. See, sort of a mess. I'll work my way back. Explain that one. Work my way back. This is a very simple trick. It's a gimmick rat trap. This is actually made by Wellington Enterprises. A lot of people bought this trick and said this is the first time I could afford a Wellington prop. Usually they're, you know, $5,000, $6,000. I've been doing this trick for years, and my buddy David Rigo has been asking me to put it out on the market. I use the real rat trap, believe it or not. And you could kill yourself using a real rat trap. So I decided to market. I go, I'm going to get sued by these people. So he did it. He remade it. It's actually a real rat trap, two pieces put together, and a little trough where it goes down in here like that. And there's a big magnet here and a magnet on the card. And there's no move to it at all. When you go like this, the card falls out. You let it fall down. If you do it sideways, the card sort of falls on the side. That's it. That's the whole trick. It's really, that's how I usually have it. You know, when I work place, I'll put it somewhere like that. You force in the 4 hearts, or whatever cards you have in it. After you do this a couple of times, this card gets sort of bent. And you got to take this off and glue it. But it's impossible to see. You're covered. You know, all you have to do is put this where the cards are, and the trick works. That's how easy it is. But it looks really amazing. I like it because I remember when I was a kid, I'd see the card sword. You all like the card sword? You know, if you don't know it, you've got a giant sword. 3 people pick cards, you throw them in the air. Well, that was great when half of your audience had swords. It sort of fit. It looked pretty good. But now, you know, now it's like you come out with a sword now, the first thing people think is, gee, I wonder what that's going to do. I mean, it just tips prop. So I call this the modern card sword. I like it because it looks more like an ordinary prop. And it just looks like a great deal of skill. Now, one thing I have, I don't know if I have the right, that I should tell you. In your deck, when you take out your deck, the top card, I didn't do it right. The top card has glue on it. In your case, if you print up labels and stuff, you take the label off, whatever it's attached to is a little shiny thing. You cut off a piece and you glue it to the top of your box. Now, when you have wax or glue on this thing, you can put it in the case and it won't stick to the case because of that piece. And the reason you want that card to be sticky or wax is that after you force the 4, you have them put it back in the deck, and when you go like that, when you throw the cards in the air and they land, they don't see the 4 hearts because it's stuck to the other card, and that hides the dupe that you forced. And that's it. There's no move. You don't make a move out of it. It has to fall out. And as long as there are cards falling when you do that, it's going to work. Once in a while, I get a card. It amazes me. Sometimes I get this. I go, no, I'm going to go with this one. You know, not often, but I mean, if as long as it's there. But again, my thinking on it is why I like it. It looks more like a regular prop than a card sword. All right, that's that. Let me go over to the mugged. I like magic that doesn't look right away like magic. I mean, you take out a deck of cards, you're doing a trick. I notice my audience gets in trick mode. Trick mode. Here comes a trick. I'm ready. Now, wait. I should go over this. I loaded it too quickly, but I'm going to start with this. This is I don't know why. I think it's because I'm sweating, and I wasn't looking. Well, it's a fishbowl with a cover, and it's a production. You have to spill the water. If you don't spill the water, you have no effect. People think it's some kind of thing that folds up, but once they see that water spill, got an effect. Also, if I'm working TV, and they're going to take a shot of it, I have a real fish, maybe 2 or 3. If I'm working a club, usually I don't do that. Now, if you're ever going to get a chance and you're going to work TV, tell the guys everything. Don't worry about fooling them. There's 1 million people watching the show that you have to fool. So you tell them, shoot it from the bottom. Don't shoot it from the top. Whatever it is that they have to know, you got to make yourself look good. So don't worry about, the audience knowing, the cameraman know it. the more that if you buy this, or even if you see it online, when I first did this on TV years ago, Nipsey Russell and John Viner were the hosts. The director says, I want you to produce the bowl after your set for those two guys, which made me a little uncomfortable because now I got to do the whole set with this fishbowl. But so after I'm done, they come up and they go, can you show us a trick? And I go, sure, I got this magic bag, and I do this, and I produce it, and if you watch it, as soon as I produce it, Nipsey Russell grabs it and goes, boy, that's great. Just a pro, knew that it had to be up there, helping me out, stuck his finger in there like that. I mean, made it look like, so you want everybody to know what's going on. I have a special harness, but if you buy this, you get a harness that you can adjust to your size. Mine was made for me, so it should just, it's stuck. You should just be able to lift it up and take it out like that. And what makes it easy is that it's on a pendulum. So it's a big slit in the bag. Nothing beats nothing beats a production. I don't think you can beat the production of stuff. I have a bird that I use sometime, a live bird, but I'll tell you, I used to travel with my bird. I used to have my suit. I used to have an empty cage. I used to walk through security. I used to take the birds out of my pocket, put it in the thing. After 9/11, it's over. You can't do that. Now, you not only can you sneak your bird in, but they want it to fly underneath. I don't want it to fly underneath because I don't trust it. So I have to pay a ticket for an animal that can fly anyway. It doesn't matter. See you at the gig. Okay. So, you show it, you should just shake it out. You stick your hand in here. When you lean forward, it automatically goes forward. You lift it up. You let the water spill. It's nothing beats a production. You can do. I use this for a lot of things. Sometimes I walk around. I'll have a bottle in my vest or bottle in my belt. I pull it out. I like to do it. The trick, I'm not doing a trick. This is over before you know I've done a trick. I've got an effect without doing a trick. The same thing with this. It looks like I'm telling you a story. You really want to try. I mean, you can't do it all the time because you got a deck of cards, but you want to get out of trick mode. You don't want people to know it's a trick. So what it is, it's just a ski. It's a change bag, but it looks like a ski mask. It looks pretty simple because it gets a laugh. You got the jokes to go with it. Gets a laugh, and you got a Himba wallet. Open it one way, you see money. So you put the money in there, and then when you put the money in, my hand is this way. Because this way you have the vanishing hand, the good trick, but not what I'm going for. Then the same thing, you take off the watch. You have two watches. One is up your sleeve. And when you take this one off, you have to pull your hand down. You get the watch in position, pretty simple. Now the ring, I'll tell you a funny story about this ring. So that's it. So you put the dollar in there, you put this under your arm, the wallet, so that when you open it, you show it. You just show it, take it out, put it under this way. When you take it out, you show it this way. The watch, you take off when you roll your sleeve down, you put the thing together. The ring is a little different. Now, when I first came out with this trick, and the way I used to do it, I had two rings. Well, one was it was a half ring with an invisible thread. It was a big pendant ring. And I would look like I was taking the ring off, but I would actually turn the ring around, take it off. It was nothing here. You just saw the thread, and then I would kick it back. And you would say, bink! You would get a little visual of the ring coming back. But then I had a half ring on my finger. So sometimes I would have, if you bought it, you got a regular ring and a half ring, so the half ring was facing in. You could take the regular ring off and put it into the mask, and then kick it back. But the trouble was, it was okay, but you had a half ring on the rest of the show, and or you had to get rid of it. So one day I'm at a convention and this kid comes over and he's about 10 or 12. He goes, "Excuse me, can I talk to you?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I liked your trick with the ring, but the ring didn't fit, it was too big for my finger, so I changed it a little bit. What I did is I take the ring off my finger, and then when I put it in the bag, I put it back on my finger." So I said, "Beat it, kid, you bother me." When I did it again, I go, "Hey, what? That's great." So you take the ring off, and also you can do it from the front this time. So I'm going like this. All I'm doing, I'm putting it on my finger. You're just putting the thing back on your finger, and you put it in the bag. These kids today, I'll tell you. Oh, I'll tell you something worse, just as an aside. I'm in Phantasma Magic, and this kid comes up to me and he says, "Can I show you a trick?" "Sure." He does it, it's pretty good. I go, "That's great. Is that your trick?" He goes, "No, it's in your book." That's a bad sign. That's it. Goes in there, you turn it around, it goes inside out, and that's it. I like it because again, I've had an effect without doing a trick. This important thing for me, I would love to have all effects and no tricks. You know what I mean? Everything happens without doing any tricks. There's one more thing I want to do before I end the lecture because I love this. I love this effect.
Now, Rich, I don't think I missed it.
Okay.
Did you talk at all about the card in orange?
What?
The card in orange?
Oh,
did you?
shit.
Because
No,
I don't think we've
good.
covered that one.
Good.
Yeah.
That's really important to go over. I forgot about that. Now, let me tell you about the card in orange. It's a classic trick. I loved it. I've been doing it for years. Here's one thing about doing a trick, and I think it really it exemplifies my thinking, and I want to explain it. I want to do this trick. Well, you have to be able to add something to the trick, or else it's not worth doing. What can I do to make it different? The thing that besides the jokes you put in there, the thing that I liked about it, I thought, well, nobody's really exploited the use of the orange. I want people to have a free choice of an orange, and I want to make a lot of jokes about it. I've had people come back the next night. I recognize them just to pick a different orange because they were convinced. No, I'm serious. They were convinced that they had a free choice of an orange, and so I had all of these jokes. And do they have a free choice of an orange? Yes, they do. If they had picked this orange instead of the other orange, there'd be a card in that orange. And if they picked this orange, they'd have a card in this orange. So the thing is, there's a card in every orange. Makes it really simple, but it also allows me to have all of this time, pick one, pick one, pick one. So here's what I do. I mean, there's a lot of work on this I think is important to know. Besides the simplicity of the trick, what I do, I get an orange. I'm not going to use all three, I'll use one. You cut around the side, try not to make it circular, make it irregular, and pop it up. Perfect. That's a perfect cut because I got the whole core out. Cut that out. Then I stick my finger to the board out more and I put a piece of paper in here. This was a long time before I did, but if you do this before your show, it'll dry it out enough.
About how long would you leave that paper in there?
I would say at least an hour.
Okay.
But, this was 4 hours for us. And now I always walk around with this. I have 3 folded cards, and I got my pieces. I just hold the cards together and rip them, and I have 3 pieces. So you let it dry, take it out. You want to use a glove because you're using super glue, and even though you think you're cool, so you push it in there. After you've let it dry, you push it all the way down. You get the super glue. You run it around the end of the. And I did it at an angle, and I did it so that it's not regular. So it's going to fit like a piece of a puzzle. You know, you can just keep turning this around until you say, well, let me see exactly how does it go, and when it fits right, you can get it perfectly in there, and it'll look. Let me line it up right. There it is. There it is. Too hard. See why you're using. This is why you're using super glue. Why you're using the glove. Oop. Sorry. Anyway, that's see the way it's irregular. That way, when it fits in there, you're going to know exactly where it fits because it's the only way. It's the only place it can fit. And you do that with all three. You do that with all three cards. You're not going to be able to. Once that dries, you're not going to be able to tell. And a lot of people examine that really closely. So that's it. So there's a card in every one. If it's dried out, and they have a free choice. So when I say pick me, oh no, we'll go by your applause. It sounds like this. The person actually has a free choice of any one of the oranges. And it makes a big difference that you can actually spend a lot of time. You know, I say pick me, gets a laugh. Then they never pick the third one. And I say it sounds like that. And then they do it again, and they actually have a free choice of any orange. I like when I rip it, I say, you try to get them to go before the show. But the thing that makes it really work is the proof. This is I actually forgot my handkerchief, and they had to give me one. I usually use one a little smaller than this. This looks like you could hide an elephant in this thing. It's a special, got a special pocket. So, the piece, I have three cards, and I have three pieces. One piece goes in here. That's the duplicate piece that's going to fall. I always carry another piece in my pocket because one out of so many times, some person is going to, excuse me, I'm trying to control, some person is going to be playing with their piece, and they're going to be nervous, and they're going to rip it up. They're going to be sitting there, and now you have no, and so what you do is you say, well, let me have that, and you act like you restore it. You have another one, just as a backup. It's going to happen. So when you take this out, and you're making a bag out of it, all the attention is on them ripping it up. You go like this. You make the pocket. I would like one a lot smaller. I just grab the piece and I put it on the outside. Now it's going to fall. Their pieces go in the pocket. You drop it. You make a big deal about it. Now, don't forget, this is the proof that you screwed up. So now when you show that piece fits, you get a spontaneous reaction. It's proof that, it's called the certainty principle. The certainty principle is, in light of unbelievable countervailing evidence, you still stick with your opinion. Screw you. I'm right and you're wrong. So, and that's sort of the way it works. This means you screwed up, and now when you show it fits, they sort of have to accept it's really simple. You're just switching that piece for the other piece, and you're using this thing to make it work. You're forcing the card. That's pretty simple. And then I'm putting the cards away. I have a lot of gigs. This didn't work for some reason. I usually say, show them your card. Oop, see, I'm not getting it to work. Show them your card, and I make a big deal about trying to see with a mirror. You got a million little gags to go with it. It's basically a simple trick, but having a card in each orange where they have a perfectly free choice of an orange throws everybody off. Once they know that they can, sometimes people have said, no, I want to change my mind. No, I want to change my mind. Good. The more you do it, the better it is for me. It makes no difference. And the pieces look good enough, it's going to work. People have questions about this one?
Yep, thanks, good.
Okay, one more. All right? Here's a trick based on Paul Curry that I love to do, and it fools everybody. And I also love to do it in a lecture because I like the principle involved. So let me get somebody up here who hasn't been up here to help me out. Anybody? Oh. Got the old elbow How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Okay, I have two suits here, spades and hearts. What do you want to use?
2 spades.
Spades? All right. Arrange those from ace to king.
Ace to king.
Okay. Well, we'll do it together here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack, Queen, King. These cards are in order, right? From 1 to king, right? Please.
Right.
Now, if I put them down in order, 1, 2, 3, what's next?
4.
The 4 is next, but if I put the 4 under the 5, we change the order. 6, 7, the 8 is next. If I reverse the 8 with the 9, we change the order. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6, 7, 9, 8, because we change the order. 10, the Jack is next. Put the Jack under the Queen, we change the order. It goes Queen, Jack instead of Jack. Right, you got me?
Yeah.
Very simple. Every time I put one card under the other, we change the order. So now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these cards in a mixed up order, and you're going to try and get them back in order. But first tell me, what is your astrological sign?
Libra.
Libra? Me too. Now, since I know that, it's going to be easier for me to anticipate when you're going to say reverse and when you're not. Okay, now, as you can see, the cards are in a mixed up order. I'm going to count them on. If you say reverse, we reverse. If you don't say reverse, we don't reverse. Ready? Reverse?
Reverse.
Okay, there we go. How about this one?
No.
No. How about this one?
Nope.
No. You sure you're a Libra?
Yeah.
You sure you're a Libra?
I'm
Okay.
sure.
How about this one?
Reverse.
Reverse.
Libra. Yeah, that one's good.
No?
No.
How about this one?
Reverse.
Okay. There we go. This one.
Reverse. Leave that one alone.
That's it. Okay, now, was that fair?
That was fair.
Reverse when he said reverse, reading reverse, even though it was completely under his control. Look at that. 1, 4, 7, 10, king, 3, 6, 9, queen, 2, 5, 8, jack, 8. So now you're not going to believe this, and this is the thing that's really amazing. Every Libra who has ever done it, exactly the same order. Thank you. No, you see, I cheated. I stole your wallet there before, and I looked inside. I saw your date. I knew you were a Libra, so that's why before we started, I put these cards in exactly the same order. Look, 1, 4, 7, 10, king, 3, 6, 9, queen, 2, 5, 8, jack.
Very nice.
No, it's fine. I love this trick. Is that amazing? I like it for lots of reasons, but one thing I like about it, it only works if you see the explanation. If you come in late to this trick, it doesn't fool you. But let me show you what it is. The cards, 1, 4, 7, 10, king, 3, 6, 9, queen, 2, that's a simple stack, but that's the order that I put these cards in to begin with. These cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, when I talk about different venues, this is what I do when I'm sitting around with people. I say, do a trick. It's a little slow. It's good for, like, you're having dinner with people, or, you're having a drink, or you're trying to convince them to hire you. I have a whole different set of things I do. A lot of the stuff I do is already in print by other people, where you just borrow a dollar bill, or you borrow a ring, or you borrow something on a table, so it's stuff like that. But this is something I came up with, that's why I'm doing it. The other stuff, I have a lot of stuff like that just looks like, let me borrow your ring, let me do a trick with your watch. You shouldn't be really taking out a deck of cards, but this I like because it's novel. So, now, 1, 2, 3, what's next? The 4, reverse the 4 with the 5, I change the order. 6, 7, reverse it, change the order. 8, 9, the 10 is next, reverse the order every time. Now, I showed you the cards, reverse the order, turn them over. Now, I'm going to put the cards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king. In fact, I'll do them this way. King, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay. Now, next time I do it, You reverse. I do it face up. So I'm going to do it face up instead of face down. Should I reverse this card? No? How about this one?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, I put the 2 under the 3. I'll put it down there. How about the 4? No? How about the 5? Yes? All right. I put the 5 under the 6. I put them both down. You notice anything? If you don't turn it over, you don't change the order. So 7, the 8 would be next. But no, you want me to put the 8 under the 9, and now I put them both down. so absolutely not. Absolutely. The 10, okay, the Jack would be next. But no, I'm going to put the Jack under the Queen and put the Jack and Queen down. So absolutely nothing happens. I don't change the order. Now, if you come late to this explanation, if you don't see this explanation, if you don't see this part, I go, okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack. So here I go, 1, 2, I get the 3, I put it under the 4, but now I turn it over. If you don't see this beginning part, and you come in the second part of the trick, you're going, what the hell is that? Yeah, but this is what sells here, 5, 6. So we revert. You're not doing anything. So that's the way the trick works. So I like the fact that I'm waiting till the last minute to let you know that I'm fooling you. So these are already in 1, 4, 7 in order. All I'm doing is these cards, I arrange them in the same order. When I say what is your astrological sign, I'm going 1, 4, 7, 10 King, 3, 6, 9 Queen, 2, 5. Now they're in order. They're going to stay in that order. And I like this. I also like it because I just, I know I'm really conning them the whole time. And I'm having a good. So they go yes, no, yes, and you say, "You sure? You're a Libra? Maybe you're adopted. What about that?" You just get all of the jokes out of it. You make a big deal of it, and you show it. You act like In this part, this denouncement is really, it's just a killer. And, you do that. I mean, it's real. I like to put this in a lecture because it's very easy to do. Everybody can do it. You just have to have these cards together, and you'll be fooling people with it, and you'll have a lot of fun with it. So that's it. I hope you all had a great time.
Super cool.
Thank you.
Keep it going for Rich Marotta. And Rich, come on over, have a seat.
Okay.
Thanks very much. Great job. Great job. How you doing? Feeling good?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Tired.
Yeah, it's a little weird to do like all the different venues back to back in one night, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different than most of the magicians do.
Yeah. Most of them would come in and do like, just a close-up set or a stand-up set or something like that. But we really appreciate you showing us a variety of different things. Let me get right into asking you some questions by asking you what's come in over the Twitter feed. One guy wanted me to ask this question to you, and it is this vague.
I was found innocent of those charges.
Here's the question. I'm supposed to ask you about the trick where you burn the piece of paper. It's not one of those, is it?
Yeah, if he brings the stuff in, I'll do it for him again. No, it's a trick. On my 3-volume DVD, I've got a trick with a piece of paper.
Okay.
I didn't do it tonight, but here's what it is. It's a piece of paper, you burn it, floats up to the ceiling, comes back, you grab it, you restore it.
Sure.
And I did it as a gag where I would say I forgot my act and I would burn it, but I didn't do it here. But it's in the 3-volume DVD I have. It's an old DVD. I have hair. If you see it. But what it is, it's just another way of doing a trick without it looking like a trick. So just to make sure I wouldn't forget what I was going to do, I wrote my act down on this sheet of paper. I'm a pro. I'll destroy it. Paper rises up. Then I act like I can't remember what it is, and I reach up and grab the ash and restore it. If you go to YouTube, you'll see it. But I can't do everything.
Yeah, sure. There's a lot of stuff. Now that DVD series, I think somebody wrote in and said that currently it's out of stock in Penguin, but is it available? Or is it out of print?
Mayor, can I get it for a second?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Mayor Yidit is coming out with it again.
Oh, good.
It'll be out in a few months in a box set. See, look at that hair. So what it is, it's 3 volumes. One is stand up, one is walk around, one is close up. And let me see, I did that repeat escape is on here, the swindle is on here, the stand up, I got the card in orange and the mugged and all of that stuff, and I got the walk around stuff. So that's in here, and he's also going to include, something, I do have a 2-person act.
With Twyla Zone.
With Twyla Zone, my assistant, but I didn't do any, she's not here, but, so it's going to be a box set of 4 things.
Neat.
So anything I didn't do tonight, you can see on that, he's coming out with that soon.
Yeah.
At least he said he is.
Sweet. That sounds fantastic. Now, okay, let me ask you some questions about stand-up magic in general, and stand-up comedy more than stand-up magic, because you really got your start in stand-up comedy. Were you always doing magic as well as stand-up comedy, or did you ever do work without props?
I started off doing magic because I wasn't real confident. Well, here's what's great about magic. You do a trick, it has an ending. Everybody applauds at the end, either because they liked it or because they know it's over. It's got a climax. It's got a climax. You come out there, you do a joke, they look at you. You do another joke, they look at you some more. You go, wait a minute, I could be up here all night. Now, I don't have it marketed anymore. I used to sell a color-changing tie. Run your hands over the tie.
That's probably going to mess with the microphone for people at home.
Run your hands over the tie changes. Different tie.
Yeah.
I came up with it because I was learning how to do stand-up, and I was dying. I would do a joke, they'd look at me. I'd do another joke, they'd look at me. I'm thinking, I don't have a ta-da, like you have in magic. I could be here all night. So the joke was, oh, I know why you're not laughing. You don't like the tie. Some people thought, oh, he must have told those lousy jokes on purpose.
Yeah, on purpose, yeah.
Just so he could change the tie.
Yeah, right. I know I would if I opened with that, yeah.
I used to get 15-minute sets. In New York you get 15 minutes. And I remember the time I had 15 minutes, I got off stage, one of the comics came over and said, hey, you forgot to change your tie.
Because it was going so well, right?
So I started off, but you get lazy when you do magic because everything has an ending. They know it has, but you start doing these jokes, and the reason they weren't laughing is just they weren't really good jokes. So I had to learn how to do it, and also it affects the way I do magic in that I don't like to wait too long. Like these mentalists, I don't know how, I admire them. 10 minutes and something happens.
Yeah. 10 minutes with a book and a word, And some of them are fantastic, but it's a different style entirely,
It's a different style.
Yeah.
With me, I'm used to, like my favorite guys are Henny Youngman, Rodney Dangerfield, 10 laughs a minute. I mean, Rodney, he doesn't need a setup. He is the setup.
Yeah, right.
But the one, Joan Rivers just died. She was great. So I'm always running. I always feel like I'm taking too long to do something. So I like to, because I came up in the comedy circuit, I can't be that. I'm envious of those mentalists. They take a lot of time. Seems like they're doing nothing, but the audience likes them. So who am I to? I can't argue it, but I'm not that way. I'm more like your style's the same way.
Yeah.
You feel like I just like to do it quicker.
Yeah, let me ask you about dealing with hecklers. Do you have any advice or any anecdotes about that? that you could share?
Here's the thing. You've got the light, you've got the mic, and you've got material. They can't win. You no matter what they do, you've got a line for it. Just to tell you, does this have to be completely clean?
We like to kind of keep it PG-13, but we've had people go over the line.
Okay. This guy, is this one of the guys that have gone over the line?
I've done it once accidentally. I got so excited that I.
Well, I'll keep it clean. Some people do it. They think they're helping you out, but they're not. I say you shut them up right away because it really does annoy everybody else. Rodney, you tackled him, boom, 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 boom. A woman, he would wait because a woman, he said, you really can't shut up. She'll stop, and but no matter what, and then she'll start again. But I'm famous for having one of the better heckler stoppers where he heckles me, I heckle him, I do this. I mean, I'm ready for this stuff, and they start off clean and then they get worse. But I just destroyed the guy, and then he sat there for about a minute, and then he was drunk, and he goes, I screwed your mother. I screwed your mother. So I said, gee, you know, I was wondering who dug her up. That was an ad lib where I was ready, but for the most part, you should try and be kind. You know, like, hey, I don't go to where you work and knock the mop out of your hand, do I? I mean, you know, you keep it clean. You could have another job that they do that isn't that clean, but
Yeah, right. Yeah.
you know, you don't want to. And here's a mistake that I made when I first started. The guy in the front row was heckling me. So all of a sudden I turn on him and I say 50 nasty things about him, and the audience hates me. Why? Because they didn't hear him heckling me. Mm-hmm. So it seems like all of a sudden in the middle of my show I start yelling at this guy. So if somebody heckles you, make sure that the audience knows it, and make sure that they know it's affecting the act.
Yeah.
Now they don't like him anymore. Guy said, you'll say, and so I was, and now you fluff your line. Rodney, then if you would do this on purpose. So now everybody knows that they didn't get that joke because of this guy. And now when you attack them, they're on your side. So make sure that they know he's heckling you, and try and, you know, just shut him up with a couple of things. If not, where was I? I was just in Atlantic City, and they came and the bouncers came and dragged them right out.
Yeah, the clubs nowadays are actually getting a little bit more proactive about that. They used to just leave the hecklers alone. Now they're bouncing them, you know, pretty quick.
It used to be, it used to be really tough, and but then it got to be a game. Can I really upset this guy? But you can't ever let anything like that bother you.
Yeah.
And just have a repertoire of great heckles that you're ready. Oh, mine are all you don't want to hear.
Are they all just you know, too dirty, too obnoxious? You know, maybe we could have somebody heckle if you want to take them down.
They're all designed to get you to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
You know, because if not, you could. Also, it takes up too much time. They start thinking they're the show. You want to nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
You know, if they think that you're joking around with them, then they keep going. Unless you have. Sometimes people actually pay to have
somebody in there, and that is the show. Now I've only ever seen one guy who didn't do that, but if somebody heckled him, his set was fantastic anyway. But if somebody heckled him, he just scrapped the set and just went for that and did the whole show that way. But it takes us.
What do you mean?
You know, he had a really good set that he would do, but if somebody happened to heckle him, he had a heckle set, and he would just switch to that, and that's it.
That's good.
He was great.
Don Rickles used to have stooges in the audience that would heckle him. The woman would say, "You're nasty," and he would say, "Madam, if you were my wife, I'd poison you," and she would say, "If you were my husband, I'd drink it." You know what his theory was? Any laugh during your show is a laugh.
Yeah. Well, Lance even used that in his show, you know, with the, you know, can you make my wife? Oh, no. Can you? How'd you do that? The guy yells out, "How'd you do that?" And Lance goes, "Well, if I told you, you know, I'd have to kill you." And the guy goes, "Tell my wife." Yeah. It was great. It's a great moment.
Great. Yes.
So you got started by a family friend showing you some magic, right? But this I'm assuming it was a guy. It was a professional gambler. You said.
Yep,
right?
I was different than most magicians who had a magician. Yeah. This guy was a professional gambler. He didn't really care about magic, but he told me something. The first book he gave me, Erdnase.
Oh, he was carrying that with him, huh?
No.
He just knew.
I like magic.
He just knew to get that one.
He got me that book, and he had a theory about Erdnase. That people who don't know who Erdnase is, the first book about magic, the expert at the card table. He said Erdnase was a fantastic riffle shuffle guy who could run up a hand and had no use for anything in that book. No hand shuffling. Everything was table running up. In Erdnase, he says, I'm trying to remember. the possibilities for the riffle shuffle for all practical purposes at the card table are limited to retaining a top and bottom stock. But that's not true. Marty could run up any kind of hand there was. He said Ernest could run up any kind of hand there was. Had no use for that stuff. And that's why he did it. But he got me that book. The card through scarf is in that book. I learned the diagonal palm shift. I learned everything. But what set me free with him, he came over to the house and he had a newspaper under his arm, and I was sitting at the kitchen table. I was 9. He said, "What do you want for your birthday?" I go, "Yeah, I'm hoping for a puppy, but I don't think my mommy's going to get me one." And he took the paper, put it on the table, made a little bag, pulled it away. And it was a puppy.
Whoa.
He was live. That was it for me. He was God.
Yeah. Hell
You know,
yeah.
when you're a kid, anybody who knows anything about magic, let's think about this. The guy sitting on the other end of the table, he's got a big newspaper, but at the time it was like, what the heck was that? And he got mad at me one day. He said I'd never make it because I didn't have enough larceny.
Really?
I said, hey, I got plenty of larceny. I didn't even know what the hell the word meant. But, you know, when you're a professional gambler, he just had to beat you and stuff.
Yeah.
He was real nice to me, gave me that book, showed me magic tricks.
He thought you were too honest to make it. It was,
I just
kind of
didn't-
strange.
He had the whole, he just likes beating you at something. He has to do it. He'd come over for dinner, and he'd say, my mother's name was Gracie, I appreciate you having dinner. As soon as dinner's over, don't do a thing with those dishes. I'm doing them, I'm washing them, I'm putting them away, I'm doing everything. And he'd entertain, have fun all night, he'd leave, and the dishes still be in the sink. I mean, he was just that kind of, but he was just that kind of guy, but his technique was, I learned right away that the stuff could look perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that you sort of, when you start off with magic, you don't really know it, but when you see, you go, it's impossible. So it did give me a high bar to, and there's still some stuff I can't do in there. I can't do seconds. I can do a top change, bottom change, top. I can do the top palm, bottom palm. I still don't have a good second.
Yeah.
You could work with that book forever.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So let's talk about. Well, let's start off with some kind of horror stories, and just tell me about the worst show you ever had.
Well, if you want to know the really worst show,
Yeah.
Here's the worst show I ever. This is embarrassing. I'm driving. I'm in San Francisco. I'm driving to Sacramento. I don't know if you ever heard of flop sweat. You ever hear of flop sweat? You wonder, what is flop sweat? Most people never had it. What flop sweat is, every pore in your body is sending out moisture. So here it is. I'm driving with the opening act to Sacramento. He's going to do 15. I'm going to do 45. And I think of this joke I think is funny. Hey, how many of you remember me when I did kids shows? Ho Ho the Magic Clown? That was me. And I want to remind you, I was found innocent of those charges. Oh, I think this is a great joke.
Yeah.
Now the guy who's driving me gives me the tag. That's right, I was just trying to guess the kid's weight. Oh, I'm gonna kill with these jokes. These are great. Now, when you start doing comedy, you get 5 or 6 minutes. So where do you put your jokes? If you wait to put your new joke up, you're never going to put it up because you get into the set and you're working and you're doing well and you're delivering. So you don't do you. So you learn to put your new joke up front. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I got my material to back me up. So the guy's there. We were a little late. I'm stuffing my pockets. I'm getting ready. Hey, good evening. How are you? How many remember me when I did kid shows? Anybody? Ho Ho the Magic Clown? That was me. By the way, found innocent of those charges. Silence. Whew, that's okay. I got the tag. That's right. I was just trying to catch the kid's weight. Silence. Now I do my first trick. Silence. Next thing, silence. Nothing. 45 minutes was over in about, seemed like 9 or 10, but it was still.
And you were basting the whole time, right? You know, did you?
Just dying.
Yeah.
Dying. I mean, luckily I've never had a show that bad since, but I was just, what the? I ended by saying, I'm sorry, folks, I was just trying to entertain you. I get off stage. I'm back there. The club owner runs backstage. He's holding up the Sacramento Bee. It says, child molester nabbed. Fred Smith amateur magician. And see, I'm sweating already. I should have read the damn paper. That's the worst. I mean, nothing has ever worked. And the only other time, it was sort of embarrassing. I mean, that was like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
The only other time, I don't know if you know the tossed out deck.
Oh, yeah,
deck.
sure.
Remember a card, remember a card, remember a card. And then I named 3 or 4 cards. If I named your card, sit down. Well, it works, but it's a special deck. I tossed out a regular deck.
He just had them mixed up in the case or something.
You know. So I think the last line of the routine was, and I guess you'll notice, folks, that the only cards I didn't name were the cards you still have in
You name those cards off, and they're all still standing, and that's when you know, right? Did you know before then, or did you just find out? Is it? Oh, I think we've lost your microphone. Yeah. When did we lose it? Because we got to hear the whole story. Did we hear the whole Sacramento story? Yeah. All right.
No, that's how dumb I was.
So you tossed the deck out.
Either they're lying, or they all looked at the bottom card. Uh-huh. So then I named 4 more, and I'm going, I'm thinking, now what's my out?
Yeah,
okay, well they read. I mean, it's just like you're done for.
Yeah.
And there is, I mean, you want one more story? That's weird.
Yeah, but you've been trying to figure out how to get out of that the whole time. No, I have no out. But you've got me thinking.
There's no out. The out is
that's the miracle.
Don't screw up.
Deck. Yeah.
That's the out.
And we have plenty of time. What's another story? Yeah, you got another one, funny or crazy?
I'm going back. I used to teach college. I used to teach at Santa Fe Community College at the University of Florida. Before they drummed me out of the business, I became a magician. Anyway, I'm back in town, and I'm going to do a show. Going to be 100 people at the show. So I commandeer my friend of mine who's a biology professor. He's really a professor. I go, here's the trick. Here's the effect. Everybody who comes into the show gets a piece of paper. They write their name on it. They fold it up. They put it in a box. Then, at the end of my show, I have 2 easels here, and I throw a ping pong ball. We go on forever. Somebody finally comes up, get the box. They bring the box up. They open up the box. They reach in the box. They take out a name. They read the name off. The person stands up. I say, name a card. I name a color, name a number, name a city. They name a color, they name a number, name a city. I write it down. I lift up the other easel. Everything matches perfectly. So, how's it work? Great. The box is gimmicked. Mm-hmm. It's a false bottom. You come in, you drop your name in the top, but in the bottom, all the names are the same. And I have my friend, who's my professor, write his name 100 times, bitching the whole time. How many more times? How many more times? No, it's got to look good. And he folds up. But the thing is, you spend so much time picking the person at random to get the box that they never think about it. And they come up there and they lift the box up. It's got a false bottom, and they reach in there and they read the name up. So will you stand up, sir? What is your name? Bill Green. Do you work here? Yes, I'm a professor. So I mean, that really looks good. Okay. So I tell him before, red, 1492, Paris. Okay. All this time, and we have 2 easels here, and I've written 3 things down. And okay. Who did we get? Okay, what's his name? Where is he here? Oh, yes, so we stand up. Okay, we name a color? Purple. Purple. Okay. How about a number? 2577. Are you sure? 25? I'm going, I must have slept with his girlfriend. This is payback time. What the heck? I'm going, so that's it. I'm thinking, I could get 1. Okay, name a city. London. London. Okay. So I'm thinking, well, at least it's not as bad as that show I had in Sacramento. At least everything. So I go, there we go. Okay, London. I go, so you named it. I'm thinking, what? I just figured, I thought this guy was my good buddy. We actually taught a class together once. And then I'm going, and I'm thinking, and I'm going. He goes, excuse me. I go, what? He goes, can I change my mind? I go, what? He goes, I want to change my mind. I go, he goes, I think you made me pick those somehow. You influenced me. I go, what? He goes, yeah. So then he goes, red, 14. It works out. So, thank you. I get a bigger wait.
Yeah,
it gets better. So now the show's over. He goes home. I'm actually staying at his house. I get there. I go, what the hell was that? He goes, oh, I didn't realize it was almost over. That was the trick you were talking about. Talk about college professors being spacey. That was it. So that was about the only other time that, then you have most of the time, here's something that Vernon said that I like. Nobody knows the way your effect is supposed to go except for you. Mm-hmm. So if it's not going that way, you change it around, you make it look different. But sometimes tossed out decks and things like that, you have no out.
Yeah. Another quote that you mentioned to me when we were talking earlier was that Vernon also said that most magicians stop thinking too early. And you actually think he meant to say something else, right?
Right. Well, he said most magicians quit thinking too soon.
Yeah.
But he really meant they don't think. They just copy it. And they don't think how to improve it. You can tell the guys who are good are always working on doing something different. And the trouble I've noticed with other people, when you don't think about it, something has to happen to make the magic happen. You buy a trick and it works, and you do it. And you forget that you're the one who makes it work. Even if it works by itself, you're the one who's supposed to do it. You got to think, what makes this work? How do I take credit for doing it? How do they say it's me? So if you just do it out of the box. I also, even though I like DVDs, I think reading is better. For one thing, I think when you read it, sometimes you read it wrong and you make it better. Mm. And when you just do a DVD, you're too much of a clone and you copy it. But it's a great way to disseminate the information.
Yeah, well, especially teaching sleights and visual things. But
right.
There is something to be gained from a misinterpretation. It's happened to me in the past too. Yeah. Okay, so what are you working on now? You're doing that Thursday night.
I got a good thing. Every Thursday night in New York, I have a show. I got 2 acts. A guy who's coming along who gets 15 minutes, and another pro who gets 30 or 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. I go up, I do 15, I bring this guy up who does 15, and then I do another 15, bring the other guy up, and I got a lot of pros. When you're a pro, where do you put your new stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, your venue here that you have every week is perfect. Yeah. But when you're getting paid to do a gig, where do you put your new thing? Your act is going to dip. And you can't, people say, hey, that was good, except what was that trick? What the hell was that? You don't know where to put it. So now I got a lot of pros. They'll do their regular act, but they'll work on something new. And also, when I was coming along, I went to San Francisco. There was a club. I had 15 minutes. I had 10, then I had 11, then I had 12. They kept saying, well, you need 15. Then I had 15. I walked in like I was the cock of the walk, and they go, you should have 2 15-minute sets. And so I'm bringing some people along that I think you have to have a place to be bad.
And to build that material.
And you can't. I don't think you get good. You practice so you know all the moves. You rehearse so that you have the thing down. But you don't get when you get on stage, you're on square one again. You have to have a place to work out. You can't get better without working out. So I like it. I'm working on that. I mean, my regular stuff. I got trade show, but I'm really excited about that because it's something different every week.
Sure. And the name of this venue is Magic Mania, right?
Magic Mania is on Thursday night.
And where is it for anybody that happens to see this, within a reasonable amount of time?
It's online every week Thursday. It's on 107th Street in West End, a block over Broadway.
Say it again because I talked over it. Tell them location again.
107th Street and West End, the block over Broadway, every Thursday night, 9 o'clock.
There you go. All right.
Thank you.
Cool. And then let's see. I'm curious about this because he's one of my inspirations. You got to see Steve Martin perform way back in the 70s.
Right.
when he was being billed as a magician. Was this when he was working at the amusement park?
No, I saw him at a club
at a club. He was out.
I saw him at a club in Florida, and it said magician.
Right.
Well, I want to see a magician. All right, ready? So I go to see him, and I was blown away. Everything was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life, and everything was original. But here was his magic trick. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. You notice the way this card is reversed, different than the other card. whenever, I don't know, whenever you're ready, I want you to say, King of Hearts, come down and dance. No, wait a second, wait a second. Okay, whenever you're ready, say, King of Hearts, come down and dance.
King of Hearts, come down and dance.
Do, 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 do. Just set me free, man.
Now,
Wait.
that's funny enough to see it because I know what's happening. I know what's coming because I remember the first time that I saw him do that was on the Tonight Show. He did that for Johnny Carson in national television. He does the dancing king trick. Hilarious. He was so goofy.
And I just realized that you could be really funny with magic, but I thought he was just a genius when but I saw some good. Del Rey, I remember seeing, who was great. I remember seeing a lot of Blackstone. I remember seeing. There's a lot of great acts out there.
Yeah.
But Steve Martin.
Was he doing the balloon twisting stuff at that time too?
Because
he did your lower intestine.
No, he did. He did a balloon thing. He put it on his head. Made like a hat. This is a birth control device. You wear this, nobody will sleep with you. Stuff.
Yeah.
But it was all, the way he started. He worked in an amusement park. He saw all the regular people doing their stuff. And if you read his book, you realized that everything, I wish magicians were that way. Every joke had to be different than the other jokes because everybody already had jokes already. So he made it really different. But that was really, he didn't do, he actually did vanish a candle. And now a trick starring Bernie the candle. Even that's funny. And he had a vanishing candle and he actually did vanish it. And I was sort of embarrassed that I got to meet him and I asked him about his magic tricks, which is really stupid because he wasn't really a magician.
Yeah, he was playing it purely for comedy effect.
But he did know how, he did have a pretty good small repertoire of stuff that he did well.
Well, yeah, because he had started out, this might have been just after he was working, the amusement park, because he started out doing magic and then just found out that he was funny. Yeah. Okay, so besides doing the Thursday night thing, do you have any big plans? You going to release any other material? You got any things in the works now that you're?
Yeah, I got a bunch of new stuff coming out, and the good thing is I get to work it out on stage here. It'll be a secret when it comes out. I don't make a big deal about it. I'm always coming up with stuff. I've got a drawer full of good stuff and a closet full of stuff that. Boy, what was I thinking?
Yeah, it's like any creator, because I asked you about how many things you've come up with, and your response was,
here's my heckler stopper.
Yeah, all right.
Here's a great idea. Guys heckle me and go, wait a second. I'm going to pull out a stick of dynamite, light it, throw it into the audience. Oh, boy, is this funny. So I got a piece of thing that looks like a stick of dynamite with a fuse. I'm going to reach in my pocket, pull it out, light it, That's it. Goes up my sleeve, but the fuse doesn't go out, So I got.
So now you're on fire. Yeah. And you tried this.
I tried it. Yeah. I tried a lot of stuff that doesn't. That it's like, what the heck was I thinking when I thought this?
Yeah, and not even thinking that you'd have to travel with that, because that'd be impossible to fly with that gimmick.
Well, that's why I don't do slush. The slush powder. Yeah. You know what the slush powder is?
Yeah.
Great trick. You pour water in it.
Liquid. Yeah.
The only trouble is you got to convince these people. No, it's not a pound of cocaine.
No, that's over here. Come on, it's.
So I've got now. I come up with stuff. Well, yeah, I got a bunch of stuff I'm working on, but I'll wait until. Well, your stuff. You're gonna have a million things come out before.
We're not here to talk about me, but I can't wait to see all of the new stuff that's come out because everything that you have eventually released, you're very, very careful about making sure that it's the best that it can be and that people are getting a lot of great use out of it. I really appreciate you hanging out with us. It's been fantastic watching you perform and getting a chance to talk to you. Let's hear it once more for Rich Marotta. Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
And thank you for supporting Live Magic. We'll see you next time.